everybody. James, Comrade Casey, how's it going?
What's up? Long
Well,
time no see.
It's
I
been
know. Did
it's
everyone have a good
it's been a couple
Valentine's Day
weeks.
weekend?
I did. It was
Great
nice.
Valentine's.
What did you guys get up to?
I
Well-
went to a concert.
Oh,
Saw some live music at the bar.
Oh, okay.
Some tribute band to Steely Dan.
Oh, nice.
oh, sweet.
Going back, do it again.
Oh yeah, it was awesome. A little expensive, you know. I wasn't buying any drinks there. I said the ticket. That's
buy
enough.
merch?
I'll just sit here.
Yeah, I'm not
Merch
gonna-
to the tribute band of Steely Dan.
I'm not gonna pretend to know any Steely Dan music, but that does sound awesome. I'm just gonna change the. I went over. I got a cabin. Went out
Oh,
out into nature. We didn't end up going to snow because there's like barely any snow left. So all the places that I was looking at for snow, unfortunately, most of the snow is melted here. It's been a slightly warmer winter, I guess, than expected here in Lebanon. But
Yeah.
we still had a really nice time. It was a really good weekend overall. And I'm the reason. I apologize, everyone. I'm the reason there was no episode last week. There was no stream because we do this on Sundays, and it's 10 p.m. on Sunday night. So I was busy last weekend, but we're back. Eric 4729 sends a 14 sec super sticker. Thank you so much. We've got a black little cat. And yeah, by the way, guys, if you guys support the channel, whatever super chats you guys send in, it is split 3 ways amongst James, Comrade Casey. This is a joint venture. Thank you so much for the support. If you guys want to support the channel, also you guys can join by becoming members. We have a goal of 500 members if you guys want to join. And I'm also going to be doing a long-ass subathon next month, and I expect the 2 of you to be guests on that subathon. I'm going to need all the help I can get. I'm going to be streaming for like 12 hours or something.
Jeez.
So we will have... Yeah, I'm coming up with a nice list of like targets and stuff. Hopefully, it'll be fun. The channel members, I did a live stream with the channel members. They gave me a bunch of ideas. So tune in hopefully next month for a fun little subathon. But boys, we're here. We're back. We have a whole bunch of topics to talk about today. But we're going to be joined by our very first official guest, Alex Novell, a YouTuber, a documentarian, who should be calling in at any point throughout the show. We're just kicking off and getting started a little bit just before he hops in. But we're excited to have him here and talk to him about a number of things, including...
Yeah, this is where it would be nice to have a producer, but we're not like that. So everyone's going to see the behind the scenes.
Guys, this is...
just in front of the scenes.
This is very casual, guys. This is just a bunch of dudes having a good time. We're going to be talking a little bit about... We're going to be touching on Iran, Cuba. Shit's going crazy. I kind of want to talk about also these celebrity GoFundMes. Celebrities are like getting sick and they're dying and they're asking for money to support their families. It's a new trend of starting GoFundMes. It happened with James Vanderbeek just like last week, and this week it happened again with Eric Dane, another actor who sadly passed away, and they're asking for help to support their families because they're getting into medical debt essentially. Kaceytron response to Ethen Klein, who had like a kind of given some kind of a veiled threat on one of his live streams recently, talking about her, and she wasn't even talking about Ethen, so we'll talk about that. And then she responded, and Ethen Klein putting up his James Charles billboard. We'll kind of talk about that, and then we're gonna just ask Alex his opinion on all that and ask him about his documentaries and a couple of fun little random topics later. And yeah, that should be it. Ooh, Dizzle McFizzle with a $20 super chat. Thank you so much. He says, here's some coffee, cig, and or burger fund. Dizzle McFizzle, thank you so much for the generous support. Much love. We appreciate you. And yeah, by the way, make sure to subscribe to everyone's channels in the description. Let me try to share Alex's YouTube channel link.
Yeah, we each need something like unique to us that people can like donate money for. So, Casey, would you be the cigarette person? I'll be the burger. I'll take the burger funds.
You smoke? You're a smoker, Comrade? Hey,
if one's handed to me, I'll smoke it.
Hey, I'll smoke it too. I'm right there with you, man. I'm gonna smoke that cigarette with you. But mainly if I drink, like if I have anything to drink, like one sip of beer, I'll need a cigarette. even though I'm not like a usual smoker. Yeah, just one sip of beer, that's it. Or like whatever it is I'm drinking, you know.
I'll
Cigarette.
just be sitting there and you can puff it into my face and I'll get that sweet, sweet secondhand smoke.
It goes great with a drink. It tastes like shit, but like I don't know what to say. Marina, who's been a member of the channel for 12 months. Marina, thank you so much for all the support. Says, I wanted to say something, but it's better left unsaid. Thank you, Marina.
Oh,
We appreciate you. Very nicely said.
Cold-blooded.
Before we get going, how can I show this here? 1 second. Let me cut to me real quick. We got a little controversy this morning, a little thumbnail controversy. Oh, actually, I just need to share my screen. Okay, here we go. Sorry. Let me go back to Zoom real quick. Show you guys what I'm looking at.
we have Alex.
Oh, Alex is here?
I'm not. What? I thought this was deleted off of the internet.
Can you see? There's sorry, yeah. I had to show it. We had our own little controversy, guys, today. This was going to be the original thumbnail for this video. We had James Charles's billboard in the back, and it says, "Say James, I hear you text him young." I sent this innocently to the group, completely forgetting that we put James's face right in front of the billboard.
Right
He's
in
like-
front, with my name
With
above
his-
my head.
With his name right there. He's like, "What the fuck, dude? What are you doing to me?" So we had to scramble and fix the
I
thumbnail.
appreciate the quick change on that.
You're welcome. But just wanted to show you guys that it was just too funny to pass up. Also, Marina just gifted a Do Not Worry membership. Marina, thank you so much. Salutations. W's in the chat. Thank you, Marina. So yeah, that's how we started our day. Okay, so there was is Trump about to like bomb Iran? Is that what we think is happening? Have you guys been keeping up with the news between Iran and Cuba? Things are looking pretty wild.
Well, when it comes to Iran, I feel like war with Iran has been sort of imminent ever since like October 7, honestly.
Mhm.
Like, I mean,
I
Iran is
agree.
like, Netanyahu is always talking about how Iran is like the greatest enemy of Israel. They're the greatest evil in the whole world. They are developing all these nuclear bombs and stuff. And what was it, like a year ago, maybe 6 months ago, when when Iran was bombing Israel with like all their super advanced hypersonic missiles and things. But I mean, now I feel like, I mean, it just keeps getting more and more, inevitable. I feel like.
I know, and by the way, completely justified response from Iran. That was in retaliation to Israel. Like Israel started the war with Iran, and even then, when Iran like sent those drones, like what was it, like a year and a half ago or whatever, for show, which didn't really hurt anyone. That was because Israel had bombed the Iranian consulate in Syria, killing like 2 senior leaders or multiple like senior officials. So again, everything that Iran has done in response to Israel has been completely retaliatory. Recognized by the UN as a defense, like so, but the whole world switched it up as like Iran attacks and Iran strikes Israel and all that sort of shit.
Yep.
But here's a quick little Fox report on what's happening in Iran. Just a quick little update.
Trump is warning that limited strikes against Iran are possible, even as Iran's top diplomat says Tehran expects to have a proposed deal with the U.S. ready in the next few days. Trump was asked about potential limited military action amid those negotiations.
President, are you considering a limited military strike?
On Friday, Iran's foreign minister said in a TV interview that his country was planning to finalize a draft deal in, quote, the next 2 to 3 days to send over to Washington. And of course, just days ago, the U.S. and Iran held a second round of indirect talks in Geneva on Iran's nuclear program with no resolution reached as far as we know. At the same time, a prominent Iranian opposition figure says Iran is, quote, preparing for war as it rebuilds nuclear sites damaged by the U.S. during the strikes.
Yeah, so the U.S. has sent their carrier. I think the Abraham Lincoln. It's got a bunch of F-18s on there. They got a bunch of drones. Like, they're ready to strike. And that thing's been making its way over here for a while now. So it has seemed more and more likely that a strike is going to be happening. Jim D. Dukers, hello.
Yeah.
Hello, good sir. Jay of the Dead, hello as well.
Last year. Ali Reza Jafarzadeh, the deputy director of the Washington office of the National Council on the Resistance of Iran, says newer satellite images show the regime has accelerated efforts to restore its uranium enrichment abilities. The satellite images released by Earth Intelligence Monitor Planet Labs show activity underway at one, possibly two of those sites hit during Operation Midnight Hammer. Again, a lot to discuss here as always.
Those fucking operation names, dude. Who's coming up with those? Pete Hegseth?
And I do want to bring in a great friend of the show.
They're anime. They're straight from anime.
Which
Metro
one?
Surge.
Metro Surge. Which one was called the Wolverine? Which
I don't remember that one.
Back of the day, like that was like Osama bin Laden days or something.
Mark Chandler, of course.
Well, you guys were too young to remember.
The director of government relations at Coastal Carolina University and professor of practice, also a former senior.
This is just one of the indicators that Iran is undertaking to prepare. So if we go back to Operation Midnight Hammer, and the U.S. intelligence community is going to have this in great...
Midnight. It sounds like an 80s action movie. Midnight Hammer. Lemon Mint Cat sends a $2 super chat. Thanks. Stay safety and W cool. Well, thank you so much, Lemon Mint Cat. Also, our friends, James, and right now James and Casey are in more danger than I am because they live in Minnesota. They live in Minneapolis, where every day they're being. And by the way, how's the ice? We'll get to that. Like, I want some ice updates. Like, holy shit. Also, sure. W's in the chat for Jim D. Dukers for gifting 5 Do Not Worry memberships. Jim, thank you so much. We love you.
Awesome.
Detail, we know we set the Iranian program back significantly. We didn't destroy it. When I talk about destroying it, I'm talking about in a military sense of the phrase, destroying something completely. What was left, we're not sure. What was completely damaged, we're not 100% sure. So what Iran is doing right now is trying to salvage everything it can from its weapons development program. And it's going to try to do that in advance of any U.S. strikes. So what you see is, as an indication that Iran believes we are going to strike, they're trying to grab everything they can and move it to some other facilities, trying to protect what's left of that program that they have, because as they continue it, which is their objective, they don't want to have to go back and try to rebuild everything they have. So that's just one of the indicators. But if I can, there are some other indicators that...
I love how old the B-roll is. Like, is this like straight up from like the 80s or something? Like, were they enriching? Is this like, when did they get this? Is this all they have? Is this the most updated, up-to-date footage we have of Iran and like their nuclear facilities? What's happening here?
Continue it, which is their objective, they don't want to have to go back and try to rebuild everything they have. So that's just one of the indicators. But if I can, there are some other indicators that have been taking place that we need to pay attention to. Iran has held 2 naval exercises with the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Navy in the Straits of...
I mean, anyways, we don't have to keep watching. It's looking more and more likely. Trump, again, when asked about it, he said that, it might very much happen. The way I think about it as like a Lebanese person who supports the resistance to stuff, and look, as a Lebanese person, I think Iran has also had a negative influence here in Lebanon. I'm not going to just sit here and glaze them just because they provide the Lebanese resistance with weapons and stuff. They've not necessarily had a great influence. Even Hezbollah in Lebanon, while yes, they are our resistance, and I very much support them as a resistance force, they've also overstepped in many ways and have had a negative influence on Lebanese politics and Lebanese society in many other ways as well. But they're always going to have my support when it comes to defending the Lebanese border and defending Lebanon or even Palestine from Israeli aggression. Absolutely. That's why they existed, and I think that's what their role should remain, as a resistance. But once they got involved in the Lebanese parliament and governments, they became a government within a government. But I think the US and Israel directly targeting Iran is also them just taking advantage of what was started 2 years ago with the genocide. You know what I mean? They're trying to just completely weaken Hamas. They want to try to cut off the heads of the entire resistance in the Middle East by completely depowering Iran, cutting off aid and support to Hezbollah. They would have taken care of, in their minds, Hamas, Hezbollah, then Iran. Then Israel is free to reign supreme in the region, as they already have, flying over any country they want with impunity. They fly over Syria. They do whatever they want in Syria. They do whatever they want here in Lebanon. They do whatever they want in Palestine. And it's just more of that.
Yeah. And personally, I mean, part of me is thinking they're definitely going to war because, it serves a dual function because Israel obviously wants total power over the region, but there's
Mhm.
also like a pact, a sort of pact between Iran and Russia and China and
Mhm.
the Eastern world. So it serves like the American agenda. But
Mhm.
then there's another part of me that thinks like it's not gonna happen, and they just keep sort of amplifying this like bluff
Yeah.
that they're not actually gonna go to war. Because in my head, like this whole nuclear program, I mean, they were showing those aerial photos of like
Them
the
moving, scrambling everything out.
yeah, and the bombing like before and after of the
Mhm.
nuclear sites. And like it doesn't really look like they did anything.
It doesn't look
It
that
doesn't
bad.
really no. And
Well, I
like
think that it's just Trump's trying to get another nuclear deal done, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Like,
Because so
yeah, so he'll probably just do what he did like last year with Midnight Hammer, where he bombs the nuclear sites, says that this is some kind of leverage that he has over the country, and then like just try to get a deal done on the other side of it, which is what we've seen him do time and time again with countries like using force, but then getting a deal done, like bombing Yemen and then um, getting a deal done with them, like taking the president out of Venezuela, but then just working with the vice president.
it's
I
the
feel like
art of the
that's going to
deal.
be the same thing with Iran.
Yeah, and these are also being touted as limited strikes, so they're not going on like on full on war. They're probably just gonna hit again, yeah, like James mentioned, the nuclear sites. And Iranians they're either trying to move shit out or they're also reinforcing them, like pouring concrete on top of everything. Like, so they know what's coming, but it does seem like it's limited strikes, and it's just trying to put pressure so that the U.S. gets more of what they want out of negotiations with Iran, and they're just trying to delay Iran's development of nuclear weapons. But I completely support Iran having nuclear weapons. Hassan says this all the time. A lot of experts say it all the time. Political experts and commentators, like, nuclear weapons are like the best deterrent essentially at this point, especially against like the US and Israel. If they know you have nuclear weapons, they're just not going to fuck with you. I don't expect Iran to ever use them. I don't expect any country to ever, because if you're going to use a nuclear weapon, someone is going to use them against you. Like, to me, they're literally just, and I believe there should be, I think we should destroy all nuclear weapons, because just accidental launching of weapons is a thing that has almost happened so many times and that could happen at any time. So I don't think there should be any nuclear weapons on the planet. But if like if the US wants to have them, and if Israel wants to have them, and if France and if all these countries want to have them, fuck yeah, let Iran have one. Why not? Like, let everybody fucking have one. You can't just pick and choose
exactly.
who gets to keep one and who decides. Like, what the? None of that makes
But
sense.
I'm thinking like, I mean, part of me is like they don't have a nuke yet, because if they did have a nuclear bomb, they would be very
Let people
open about
know.
it,
Mm-hmm.
I would say, because it would stop any more attacks from the
Mm-hmm.
US. But then I'm also thinking like, what's stopping North Korea or Russia from just giving Iran a couple of their nukes? Why do they have to make it themselves?
That's right. Yeah. Why don't they just hand them a nuke? I guess
That's true.
there's got to be some, like, maybe transporting it is like, not, I don't know, that makes no sense. They
It
should be able
also
to
Yeah,
just send them one.
It also
yeah,
might
that
be a
should
tangible
that makes
difference
sense.
between a country having nukes and a country having the capability to produce nukes. That might be like a
True,
bigger deterrent also, but
true.
yeah, that's a good point. And
But like,
it's kind of funny, like that we're talking about this after the United States just let the nuclear arms treaty with Russia expire like a few weeks ago, where now there might be another nuclear arms race between the US and Russia coming up.
Let's
that's
go.
that's insane. That's kind of crazy, dude.
Yeah, so
Well,
everyone's
speaking
gonna
of
get that.
Russia, we just saw the United States get the gold medal for the Olympics for the first time since 1980, and they're all cheering, they're all hyped and everything. Well, last time I checked, 1980, Miracle on Ice, that
Oh,
was against Russia.
that's right. The hockey movie. They made that into a movie, didn't they? With
Yeah, but
Kurt
but
Douglas.
Russia wasn't even
No, no.
competing in this year's Olympics. And
That's
they
right. They're
think, "Oh, we
banned.
just we just won gold for the first time in decades." I don't know. I mean, Russia wasn't competing. There's no way
Wait,
you
gold
would
in
have won
what?
that game.
Hockey?
Yeah.
And also, wait, not
One
Kirk
against
Douglas.
one against Canada, right?
Yeah, they suck.
Who's in the cast? Miracle, 2004 movie starring Kurt Russell. There we go, Kurt Russell. Have I seen this? Yeah, I kind of saw this. Yeah, I used to love the Mighty Ducks movies. Are you guys also too young to have seen the Mighty Ducks movies on Disney?
Oh, we love the Mighty Ducks. It's filmed
Yeah?
right here in Minneapolis.
Oh, no fucking way.
Yeah.
Haven't seen it.
Dude, I have a Mighty
What?
Ducks jersey. Quack, quack, quack. Let's go. Dude, I fucking love that movie. Like, more than I should, I think, but like, just watch them young enough. Okay. What else do we have to talk about real quick? Let me see. What else we got on the list? Cuba. Okay, who wants to talk about Cuba?
All right,
Let's
I'll
do
run
it.
some Cuba here.
Do I have those links open up? Let me see real quick.
If you could just pull up the Camilla Cabello statement, that sort of
Yeah.
started it all.
Let me see what I have. Yep, there it is.
Oh yeah, yeah. Who is it? Camilla Cabello.
The
This is an
classic.
actress. She
She wrote the
single-handedly.
song Havana. You know that one?
Oh, she's a singer.
Havana, na na na. I
Oh,
want
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
in Havana. Yeah, yeah. So
So
basically,
her and Hassan like single-handedly jump-started this discourse again online.
pretty much. I mean, Cuba's been in the news since like the whole Maduro kidnapping and Trump
Right.
on Air Force One basically saying, Cuba's next in line. They're not safe. We're going to start going after all these countries. And there's been, at least in the past few days, the U.S. Navy has been intercepting oil shipments to Cuba. So they've been struggling a lot more than they were already struggling before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So then Camilla Cabello comes out with this statement.
Yeah, so my understanding is that they've completely like cut them off from like oil and gas. They're out of gas. People are lining up for hours to try to fill up their cars with gasoline. So they've cut off their supply from Venezuela. Now that Trump controls Venezuela, so they can't get any more oil from there. And then they're not letting a lot of their allies send them anything. Like you're saying, they're intercepting them. So I watched the video today. Like I was trying to catch up on what was happening. It does seem like shit's, and they're also getting 20-hour power cuts. And we've experienced similar stuff here in Lebanon a couple years ago when we were experiencing hyperinflation. Just to give you guys a bit of context of, I guess, what they're going through. When we had hyperinflation here, and overnight the Lebanese currency was worth nothing. So people and Lebanon doesn't have a lot of government supplied electricity. We run a lot of generators, and the people that run those generators, they buy oil to run the generators. So they weren't able to afford the generators anymore because their currency all of a sudden was worthless, and it cost them 10 times as much to get the oil to run the generators. So we were getting 6 to 10 to 12 to 15-hour power cuts per day because they had to manage what little oil they had to run the generators. So we literally, for like a month, everyone in Lebanon was living on like a horrible schedule of you get power from like 2 to 4, then 4 to 8 p.m. there's no power, then 8 to 10 you get a little bit of power, so like you couldn't leave any food in your fridge. We had to it was kind of a night if you were sick and you had like health conditions and you needed like a respirator, you were kind of fucked. You had to go to hospitals. And also our currency was devalued, so people had to like line up for hours to ATMs. There was no gas, so people were lining up in their cars at gas stations to fill up their cars. But this is all happening in Cuba at like a much more dire rate than it was happening here. It was bad here. What's happening in Cuba now seems like way fucking worse.
Yeah, and apparently like they're pretty, they're decently well off nowadays when it comes to like all the other resources. The US has mostly just been attacking oil shipments. And because of this, like any sort of aid they've been getting at the ports and things, they literally just don't have enough oil to like distribute it all. Like, I mean, it's pretty obvious, like once you get rid of the fuel for a country, no matter, what other resources they may have, it kind of just
you stop them in their tracks. Like they can't get anywhere.
Right.
Like people are hooking up little like carts to horses and donkeys and getting around. Like
yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
So then Camilla Cabello, classic, famous, what do they say? Cuban, whatever.
Famous Cuban.
She comes on here and, makes some sort of declarative statement against the Cuban people. But the classic liberal fashion, I'm actually in support of Cubans, but not the Cuban regime. I'll just read this quick.
Yeah, let's do it.
She said, "There's so much going on here at home and so much I can say about the heartbreaking things the immigrant community is experiencing here in the U.S. I also feel a personal responsibility to speak about what's happening in Cuba. I still have family on the island that we speak to and send medicine, food, and clothes to. It has been 7 years
So
of a
6,
failing
7.
dictatorship and an oppressive regime." Okay, here we go.
It
The
means
Cuban
something.
people are suffering in an echo chamber where no one can hear them because to speak is to risk your life. Many people are starving, looking for food in trash heaps, and the only way to survive is having relatives ship you boxes of medicine because not even the hospitals have medicine. And of course, this is the fault of the Cuban regime, obviously.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
The power is gone for so long that food spoils and water becomes scarce, yada, yada, yada. Um, but this sparked a whole thing with Ethen got involved. I mean, first um, Hassan talked about it on his stream for a bit, and he just tweeted gross, I
It's like
think,
like
in
you know
response.
she's basically blaming Cubans in Cuba for what's happening to them. And
Yeah,
she's
and
Cuban, so like,
it's
yeah, come on, lady.
and just basically aligning herself with the Trump regime, the real oppressive regime in the equation.
And they're the ones causing
And
them so much hardship right now with the whole Venezuela
yeah,
situation.
exactly. And of course, who gets involved because Hassan was mentioned? Ethen Klein.
Of course. So what did Ethen have to say about this? I completely missed that whole thing.
There's a link in the doc
Is it Guam?
if you
Is it
want to
that
pull
link?
it up.
Because I have that link.
It is.
Yeah, I saw some posts about it on their subreddit, and they're like, Hassan is ridiculously racist. I can't believe how racist it is.
Oh, there it
Um,
is.
it's funny because of course Ethan Klein is going to talk about this. This is the exact same thing as uh people like Ahmed Fouad Al-Khatib that Ethan brought on his podcast to victim blame the Palestinians for being genocided. It's the exact same thing. Blaming the people that are being oppressed by an imperialist power for their oppression. And this is exactly Ethan Klein's type of liberal fascism. It's a perfect example for it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
here it is. Yeah, no, absolutely. This is that's blaming the victim for struggling and for suffering and for what the oppressor with all the power is doing. Marina, by the way, sends a $2 donut. Thanks so much, Marina. Says Aslan, the situation is already Manuke, no need for more. I thank you so much, Marina, for the dono, and I hear you. So Pedo Troll of TED Entertainment comes out as pro-starving Cubans. So here's the quote tweet. Hassan says gross to Camila Cabello's post, and Ethen says, I'll never understand this type of arrogance or an audience that is comfortable with it. Where the Camilla heads at. Yeah, so Ethen just takes everything at face value. He just thinks that he sees this and he's like, well, Hassan doesn't care about the Cubans. He doesn't give a shit about the Cuban people. Look, this is a Cuban telling you what her people are going through. Why doesn't he just listen to the Cubans? It's like, dude, my guy, talk to like a Cuban that actually doesn't side with the United States. So that does not surprise me at all.
And it's funny because like when this whole Hassan hate started with Ethen, it was before like the second Trump administration and before they started going after, Iran, Venezuela, Cuba, like all these socialist countries, or well, not Iran, but, anti-imperialist countries. And I think it's obviously just biting Ethen in the butt here because like before it was just sort of like, oh, this socialist guy and all these socialists are supporting these dictatorial governments around the world. But as Trump is starting to attack these countries, it's it's turning into something where like even just American liberals are sort of, indirectly supporting Cuba and Iran and Venezuela just because
Yeah.
they're anti-Trump actions. So now Ethen Klein is just sort of digging himself into a hole where he's just aligning himself more and more
With Donald
with
Yeah.
Trump.
like an
It's
obviously
funny
fascist government.
because he's like reflexively anti-Hassan, but Hassan's positions are anti-Trump. So like being
Yeah.
reflexively anti-Hassan is not good when you have a fascist in the White House doing anti-Hassan stuff.
Ela
Yeah,
literally
he has
did.
no like compass.
Ela did the same thing where she
Right.
was she reposted Trump like announcing war on against Iran. Like she literally reposted. Like not only did she praise the female pilot, she's like, "Oh, great for the female." Like she was literally posted a Trump tweet or like a truth post and put that on her Instagram stories. Like that's how.
Yeah.
Just the pro-Israel that she is. She'll just you know, and anti-Islam.
And now this whole association with like the right wing is feeding, it's bleeding into his co-hosts with that new after show, whatever it's
Oh,
called.
really? In what way?
Because that one girl that's on that show, I think it's
Yeah.
that link right there.
Guam, girl with a microphone.
She's like
P.
supporting
Guam.
straight up Nazi accounts just because they're anti-Hassan.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%. I mean, Ethen Klein has supported Nazis for years now because they're anti-Hassan. I mean, he said that like, what's that guy's name? Like Sam Hyde.
Was
He's
funny.
like, he's
He's
like
really
talk
funny.
about him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's hilarious.
He shows more grace to Sam Hyde, Nick Fuentes, Asmongold than he does to anyone who like agrees that who Ethen would agree with like 90% politically. Ethen and Hassan probably are much more similar than they're different in many ways in what they believe in. It's just that Israel thing that was the real hang-up. It's just the Zionism thing. That broke Ethan's brain. And maybe Ethan's a bit more of a capitalist. But so this is what she shared. Kaguya's top gal, who I guess is a Nazi adjacent account, said Hassan Piker, when you ask him to live in his precious Cuba instead of his $1 million Hollywood mansion.
No.
I haven't seen the movie, so and speaking of power cuts, folks, there we go. I'm not in Cuba. I'm here in Lebanon, but we're not that much better. I haven't seen the movie, so I don't understand the reference. To be honest with you guys, I haven't seen. Is this from what is it called? No,
One battle after another.
One battle after. Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
Oh,
so
it is?
I do not
Yeah,
understand.
I don't know the
reference.
meme, but
She
he,
says
he was like the cop, like the
okay.
violent, like crazy cop in the movie, basically.
So Guam shares that tweet and says, I think he's still considering maybe going to Gaza, though. Well, I did hear that. I saw a tweet that Hassan is going to be on a flotilla heading to Cuba. Is that accurate? Or he's
I don't know.
He's heading on a Cuba flotilla. And she also retweeted this from Rothmus. Cuba has been and then he shut your mouth. Guzano, let me tell you what Cuba is truly like from my California mansion. That's such like an easy attack, such a lazy attack on him.
Once again, this is the exact same thing that Gila and Ethen have been talking about Hassan. Oh, he's never even been to Israel. How can he feel like he has the right to talk about it? It's like anti-empiricism at its core. It's the exact same argument from Andrew Tate. Like, if I don't see it with my own two eyes, then how can I believe it? I don't know. I don't know. Like at some point, it's just like, why? Like I know that this is a big narrative that deserves to be covered, but it's just so dumb. It's so bad.
It's Fart Twain just sent a $2 dono and says, "I just found out Guam is 40. Pathetic." That is pretty crazy to be doing an H3 after show. I guess that if that's her hobby, that is pretty crazy. I mean, hey, 40 is still lovely and young, folks. I'm 35. I'm gonna hit the big 4-0 in 5 years. But it is surprising.
Ancient.
But yeah, I guess retweet. But yeah, that's a common thing. Once you hate Hassan,
she looks good. She looks good for 40.
Looks good for 40. No enemy, no Nazi is too shitty to be retweeted. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. And in Ethan's case, you know what I mean. Oh, he's got like fucking Nick to Eat the Oreo is in there super chatting their show all the time, and he hosts a show called Ultimate Rape Review. So
yeah.
That doesn't really make much sense.
That's some good stuff.
Just becoming more and more of a I mean, any day now he's gonna just say he's right wing or, you know,
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of,
he's just gonna give up the act any day now.
I was watching. I was trying to do a little bit of research before this to try to like catch up with what's happening in Cuba. Let me try to find my my history. I found this horrible fucking vlog. I found this video of a guy's like, I went to Cuba and ignored Western media to show you what it's really like. I'm like, oh, this place is gonna be fucking awesome. Like, he's gonna show us like Cuba's popping, like we've been lied to. Let me try to find the rest of my history because it was the worst vlog I've ever seen in my life, and he actually showed how like struggling the people in Cuba are. And not only that, dude, he took a bunch of like cat and dog food with him.
When most people think
to like give hungry dogs and cats in Cuba. But what the fucker didn't realize is that he was giving it to like starving Cubans who were telling him like, we're gonna eat it ourselves. Like one of the guys was like, no, this isn't for like, I'm gonna eat it. He was like, dude, this is for Pedro dog. He's like, no, like I'm gonna have that. This fucking guy, I hate him. KS squared. He literally dropped this yesterday. I was like, okay, let me look. Just let me show you him walking around, handing people, and he got scammed, by the way. I'm so glad he got scammed. He's just walking around. Look at this guy. I'm just gonna show you this one dude.
Off, especially like that. You're doing people dirty.
Hey, my friend, maybe for take the bread with the bread for buy some bread.
Oh, take it.
Help me, my friend.
You want to eat this?
Yeah, man.
Are you sure?
Help me, man. It's for
Take all of it. Take all of it.
Gracias, my friend.
But it's for perro.
Yeah, but it's not possible.
Okay.
For people, not possible.
Take it.
It's possible for
Take
me
it.
too.
Take it.
Only for dog.
It's
no?
only for dog. But take it. Maybe you could do something good with it. Take it.
Thank you, maybe.
Love you, bro.
Look, I buy food. I take food because
It's so sad, dude. Like I just, this guy really pissed me off, and like all the comments are like, why? Like, who the fuck would take like just cat and dog food to a starving country? Like, take tuna, man. Like, feed the people. Also, feed the animals. Like, obviously, he was giving it to some people that had like, he would find people and ask them if they had pets, and he would give them. But like, just everyone would swarm him and just start like grabbing the food. It's pretty fucking sad, like what's happening. But like, yeah, I'm never gonna blame. Like, okay, look, is the Cuban government perfect? Absolutely not. But like, it's the rest of the world that has completely cut them off, and the United States primarily. But that fucking vlogger really just pissed me the fuck off, dude. And at the end of the video, he busts out the cat food, and then I was like, I can't watch anymore, dude. Literally,
Yeah, that's so fucked up.
People are just grabbing food to like eat it themselves. I'm like, this is just horrific. Okay, let me. What else do we have? Okay, I wanted to talk about Eric Dane a little bit, and get into.
Let's do it.
Get into this thing that's been happening. Let me check. Casey, can you ping Alex just to see if he's coming in soon? I want to see if I save a couple of topics.
All right.
To get him. This is pretty sad, the news that we're going to talk about, but I think it is important. It speaks to like a growing trend, and I feel like if successful like Hollywood actors, working actors in Hollywood, can't afford medical treatment, what chance do any of us have if we, God forbid, anything fucking happens to us, man? You know what I mean? Like, these people have insurance, they have millions of dollars. So Eric Dane passed away. He's been struggling with ALS for the past year or so. He's been having sort of, you could see his condition getting worse and worse. It's very sad to see. So he passed away. If you guys you might recognize him from Grey's Anatomy. He played McSteamy back in the day. And he's also on Euphoria. He plays like someone's dad on that show. So still working, still a busy guy. Passed away. I think he was at 53 or something. Still like very young.
Yeah, 2 days, like 2 or 3 days ago.
Yeah, just a couple days ago. And just like in James Van Der Beek's, did you guys hear about James Van Der Beek's death? The actor from Dawson's Creek. You guys don't know Dawson's Creek, but James Van Der Beek passed away. And then people later found out that his condition, basically his family was bankrupt because they spent the last 2 years like paying for his medical treatment, and they had nothing left. He has 6 kids, so their family friends started a GoFundMe right here for James Van Der Beek, like help support James Van Der Beek's family. And they were asking for like $1 million because they have like literally 6 kids, and like the wife is a stay-at-home mom. They have like very young children. So they've been able to raise $2.7 million. But people started asking, like, why are people donating? Like, why are poor people having to donate to like Hollywood actors to pay for their healthcare? Like, is this ethical? Does this make sense? Like, why should this come on us? Shouldn't he have healthcare? etc. And the same thing has recently just happened with Eric Dane. So Eric Dane's friends have started a GoFundMe for his 2 daughters after his death. And here it is. It is at 96K. So not doing as hot as the James Vanderbeek fundraiser. This one's a bit more controversial because people are like, okay, wait, you did it for James Vanderbeek. Like, we get it. Like, here's, for example, let me show you guys an example. Yeah, so Hailey Bieber donated 20K. I saw a bunch of, there you go, like a bunch of the comments. I don't understand why his family needs a GoFundMe. Why do people donate to his family? Could someone enlighten me? I found a quote tweet that I forgot to share, but people were saying basically like, isn't it, it's just fucked up. Like, why are these, instead of helping people in Gaza or people that need the money, like people in Cuba, they're donating to the families of a rich actor. But like, I just wanted to talk about sort of like the trend. What do you guys think of this trend of actors passing away, people that supposedly like should have money, people that are paid way more than the average American? Also, like, there was a weird piece of news, like Johnny Depp had to let Eric Dane live rent-free in one of his LA homes as he tried to ease Grey's Anatomy star financial worries in the months before his death. So he even had to team up with real-life supervillain Johnny Depp and live in his house for free because he couldn't afford to like pay rent because he had to get treatment. So I just find that stuff to be a little bit insane. Okay, so Asani says, this person on Twitter said, I'm intrigued by everyone's pushback against someone who is dying. Okay, no, that was something else as well. He also released an interview on Netflix that the agreement was that they would only be published once he died. And some people are finding that to be like distasteful or something. But I mean, he made the decision himself. So if he's okay with it, if he wanted to do it, I think that's fine. But anyways, what do you guys think about Hollywood actors asking for, maybe even if it's not them necessarily, if it's their friends setting up a GoFundMe, but what do you think about regular people sending money? And what does this say about like healthcare in America? And
I mean, I think that it really speaks to 2 things: just how expensive cost of medical treatment is for people, and also the fact that everyone is now on this like social media grind set. I think that even when actors are dying, like his family definitely probably needed the money, but why would you not do this? Like, there's no incentive to not do this when you have a family member die and you have some kind of public fame. Like, you should definitely do it. Like, you see freaking Nazis that are like get fired from their job because they're calling kids on the playground the N-word, starting GoFundMes. Well, like, it's all grifters all the way down. So I don't know if that's, I mean, it probably is indicative of the times we're living in, where the cost of living is more and more unaffordable for people, and it's more and more out of arm's reach for people. But it's also just like how social media crazed this country is, where any type of little bit of fame you're going to get, people are going to try to monetize it. And I think that's what you're getting here. Like, the end of life interview that he gave Netflix is kind of crazy. Setting up this GoFundMe, because even if they don't need it, like, they're probably doing fine compared to like regular people who work a 9 to 5 job. But I don't know, why would you not do that if you can get more money from your fans? You know, I feel like we're going to see it more and more commonly.
I think you're right.
If I die, I want you guys to set up a GoFundMe.
I got you.
Raise money for me.
I got you. Same here, Casey. I got you.
Thank you. I mean, I think like celebrities are obviously like actors, people in Hollywood. They're obviously very wealthy, and like, I mean, the successful ones, the ones we know, they're obviously very wealthy and successful, but like they're not capitalists, you know? So
right,
even in like the harshest times, they're still affected by a shitty economy. And like,
that's a good point.
I think it's like, I mean, I think we've seen it throughout history, like the times where, you know, not to bring up the word revolution, but the times it typically takes like the managerial class or like the middle class to actually suffer for anyone to really care. You know, there's always people struggling in societies. But then when it reaches the point of people who actually hold power experiencing that, that's when it's actually, you know, brought to the forefront
Yeah.
of society. And I feel like that's sort of,
That's a good
not what
point.
we're seeing, but it's sort of headed that way.
No, and I agree with you. When we were protesting out here in Lebanon as well, a lot of people that, like a lot of the middle class, was affected when we got the economic crisis and all that shit was happening in like 2019 here. But a lot of the people that stopped supporting the protests and stopped going down were the ones that were benefiting from the system and like still had their jobs, were still kind of making money. So yeah, they want to change, but they weren't willing to fight for it because indirectly they were benefiting from the system and they were doing fine. So it's only once they get hit, not just the poorest of the people, where yeah, you'll see, I think you can see actual change. Also, I think for actors, like yeah, they're rich and they're wealthy. Eric Dane was never like a major movie star. He was a working TV actor. And actors have a lot of like hidden costs that a lot of us don't think about. Like they have publicists that they have to have. They have their manager. They have their agents. So like, let's say an actor gets paid 100K for an episode, they have an automatic, and that's like always, it just happens. Like 10% goes to the agent, 20% goes to the publicist, 10% goes to the assistant, whatever, and they're left with still a decent chunk of change, but also more lavish lifestyle. Like he makes more money, he's going to buy a more expensive house, he's going to have to pay like a more expensive property tax. All that stuff is going to add up. And then, but my question is, like with health insurance, it's not 100% like covered. Like how much of a premium are people still having to pay to go into like bankruptcy? Like that's the crazy part. Like I'm sure he's insured. Like he's a working Hollywood actor. He had, I'm guessing, very good health insurance. That's what's like scary. Like you can do everything right. He's working hard. He has health insurance, has money. Even that's not enough to like spare your family from like a lifetime of fucking crushing debt because you died from like from a fucked up condition. And same with James Vanderbeek. Like some people are upset that like he was trying alternative methods to heal, but he also like did chemo. He did what he was supposed to do. He did chemo, and like he's got 6 kids. And like what are they supposed to do? Like, and people are saying like they bought a ranch before he died, so they have money. Sure, they have assets, but like still, you got to feed 6 kids. They got to go to school. They got to go to college. Like they were able to raise $2.6 million in that GoFundMe. A family of 7, like 6 kids, and with the wife, that 2.6 million is going to dry up pretty fast. Like that's not going to last as long as people think it is. I think,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just crazy. Like it's sad to me. Like it's even sadder when regular people, like these are celebrities, and they're trying to like raise some money to support the families post once the actor has died. But like this is how most families are trying to raise money for nowadays. If they have any bad fucking if they have a disease or an illness, everyone's going to GoFundMe. There's this grandma that's playing Minecraft online on Twitch to raise money for her grandson. Like everyone's getting so desperate just to do whatever they can to make money, just to pay for basic medical care. And this just highlights how badly people need universal health care. Like again, if a rich Hollywood actor has to start a GoFundMe to help his family once they die of an illness, what chance do any of us have? Like I don't know, I find that to be completely terrifying.
Right. Well, I think it's so interesting because what we're seeing is almost like a replacement of health insurance. If everyone's going to get these GoFundMes or start these charity streams when a family member's ill or when someone dies and they need like funeral costs, then what we're seeing is kind of like a usurping of insurance. Like these are effectively insurance programs, people pitching in to help people in need. And I think that just shows how broken the insurance system is in the United States, where you're not actually getting the care that you should be able to rely on when you're faced with this. Like medical debt is the leading cause of bankruptcy in the United States.
That's crazy.
It's not a good situation at all. And it's like we're naturally recreating insurance through these GoFundMes, which is it's just indicative of how fucked we are. I don't think there's any other way to put it than like people are paying for insurance, they're working these dead end jobs so that they can have insurance, and they're still needing to get extra insurance on top of that
Yeah, it's
by
crazy,
starting
man.
these like charity programs.
Yeah, and these GoFundMes, like you said, it's like a public insurance that everyone pays in. Like maybe if I donate to someone's GoFundMe when I'm sick, they'll donate to my GoFundMe. So it's like all a
Yeah.
circle. You give some and you get some back. But I mean, look, if the government is going to fail people and not provide and basically has allowed a for-profit system to take over, then if it takes the people to have each other's side. Now look, they're rich celebrities, and we have Rave in the chat saying that like James Vanderbeek's kids were illiterate and like they made some odd choices. I'm sure they did.
They were illiterate.
Apparently the kids are illiterate.
Let's start a GoFundMe to get them to read.
And apparently James Vanderbeek chose to move out of state and away from union sets for his ranch, where they could further isolate away from society instead of keeping his insurance. Oh, so he lost his insurance? James Vanderbeek didn't even have insurance?
Well, the
Support your
insurance
union.
system is so messed up that there's almost like an incentive to stay poor, because like there's a certain level of poverty where, at least in my case, you get basically like all of your standard, doctor's visits covered, your standard medications covered. But if you make just like $1,000 more every year, then you leave that bracket and you start having to pay for it yourself. But then
Right.
you make sorry, someone was calling me for some reason. Then you end up making just enough money to leave that bracket. Then you have to start paying for it yourself. But then once you start paying for it, now you're back in that bracket because you've spent all this money to pay for it.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's very
so
It's
strange.
not a good system.
And also
Yeah.
in the case of Canada, which has, a better medical system than the United States, sort of like a socialized medicine, they legalized assisted suicide in 2016. And the rates at which people are doing this is insane. And it's only because most of the time it's because they're, in medical debt, or they're gonna die soon, or they don't have the money to pay for it. Since they legalized it, over 76,000 people have
damn.
medically assisted suicide. And
So-
it's
I support
Dark.
honestly.
I support medically assisted suicide, but like not because I don't want people to do it because they think they can't afford treatment. They're like, fuck it, I just need to. But wait, Canada also doesn't have universal health care? What's the system in
They
Canada?
have it, but because it's still like a capitalist country, it's not, as good as it can be. It's the wait times are
Long wait
pretty
times.
significant.
Look, that's a common thing. I had family that lived in Ireland back in the day. They also used to complain about long wait times. And I know a lot of leftists like get angry when people mention like, no, look, a socialized insurance system is gonna have some drawbacks when everyone can get free insurance. Yeah, hospitals are gonna get backed up, and there's gonna be a lot of people in. Like logically, there's gonna be longer wait times than if most people can't afford it. But like you have to find train more nurses, build more hospitals. Like I think it's better to find solutions for that. Have more people to take care of people, rather than the current system that the US has right now. But yeah, no, it's I think it's completely insane. But I completely support assisted suicide. But I feel like if they did that in the US, you would see even more crazy numbers than you would in Canada. Like it would be
Well,
even
it's so
more
funny, like,
insane.
The way you framed that, Casey, it made me think that assisted suicide actually takes money away from insurance companies, right? Because you're no longer like paying into the medical system if you have that out. So that's another dark thought that we can ruminate on.
Well, what it does is it clears hospital beds so they can
That's
take
true.
more
Yeah.
people in and make more money that way.
And they'll start having like these sales reps coming into like hospital rooms trying to convince like whoever's sick, like, why don't you consider this? And they'll leave you a brochure. Just read the brochure. See why assisted suicide might be the answer for you. Holy shit. Yeah, no, in that sense, that's the thing. Like, it would take a country like America to take something that I find to be very humane, because also some people, like, I think you should give people the choice of how they want to go. If someone's facing a horrible disease, and they know they're going to have 3 years of like suffering, and if they want to go out in their own way, go out in dignity, you should give people that right. I think assisted
For
suicide,
sure, there's cases for it, for sure.
absolutely. But I think in a country like America, it's going to be it's going to be turned into another capitalist product, and it's going to be sold to people as like a not what it's meant to be. I think, and they're going to turn something that is potentially beautiful and like very pure, of like I make my own rules. Like I'm going to decide how I want to go. I think that's great, but yeah, like no, yeah, for people that are doing it out of desperation, it reminds me of people eating cat food in Cuba or eating dog food in Cuba. Like it's kind of like no, you shouldn't have to do that. Like no, wait a second, there's another way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because in Canada, like the people, there have been cases of, you know, neurodivergent people choosing to do it or being, or some almost like coaxed into doing it, and their families are disagreeing with their decision, and it's almost like predatory the way they're going about it. Like you said, there are cases for it, but if that were to come to America, it would just be poor people doing
Yeah,
it. Like,
yeah.
the people
Yeah,
who
that's true.
don't see a future in themselves or are just homeless and sick of it and just, you know, want to go out that way.
Dude, like that, I could kind of. This is like an interesting plot for like a dystopian like TV show, like sort of like post-apocalyptic kind of just like dystopian future where like the poor people are incentivized to just kill themselves, and like maybe if you kill yourself, your family gets like a check for 20 grand or something. Like, you know, kill yourself now.
Yeah.
And we'll send your family some money, and then someone tries to like destroy that system. Like that sounds like a fun, interesting television show. Like, you know, like
sick and twisted mind, Anthony.
I mean, hey, that's what I used to do. But like, you know, like or someone like our main character's dad is sick, and he's considering like, I'm thinking of taking the deal, son, getting you guys that $20,000 check. And then the kid's like, no, Dad, you can't do it. So he's got like a week before his dad makes the decision to kill whoever came up with this.
You remember that movie where like everyone had like a countdown on their arm? Of, like, when they were gonna die.
They sell time.
Justin Timberlake with Justin Timberlake. Yeah, I don't think I ever saw that, but I remember the trailer and it looked
sort of
horrific.
similar, sort of, you know.
Also, so
I've
if you
seen some
die,
clips.
okay, so if you die, yeah, I'm sure it's been done. I'm sure it's been done somewhere.
And you could probably give your time to like, oh, I'm gonna kill myself and give my 20 years to my mom or something. You know?
Okay, so you give your time to other people. Okay.
Yeah, but you'd have to pay like 10% for that service to transfer time.
Yeah.
Lemon Mint Cat says, bro, poor people share their blood plasma all the time. The plasma center by my work is always crowded. Yeah, no, I do know that. And they also get like a cookie. They also get like a sweet treat afterwards, which is probably nice. But people sell like all sorts of bodily fluids for money, unfortunately.
Yeah, if you want to be depressed, go to the plasma center and just talk to some of those people, man. It is dark in that place.
Fuck, dude. Well, let's move away from the darkness and into the light. No more talk of death or GoFundMes. Well, I mean, GoFundMes might be relevant in this situation, but I want to quickly touch on, I'm going to get into some Ethen Klein stuff, some Kaceytron stuff, because recently, you guys remember the, let me share my screen real quick. The most professional live stream. Okay, so Hailey Bieber donated 20 grand, by the way, to Eric Dane, and people are angry.
And Hailey Bieber is Justin's wife?
Justin's wife, yes.
Okay. Because like, is he old enough to have a daughter now? Like I was doing a double take on that.
No, she's his wife, and also Steven Spielberg, I remember, donated 25 grand to James Vanderbeek. Also, what I didn't know you could do, Zoe. You guys know Zoe Saldana, the actress? She's an Avatar. She's Gamora in Guardians of the Galaxy, the Green Lady.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
She's Gamora. So she did a recurring donation to James Vanderbeek. So they're gonna get $2,500 a month forever. Isn't that crazy? You could do that. That's kind of nice. I found like this rich white family. You know, I guess they need all the help they can get. I don't know, man. Crazy to me.
It's weird, yeah. It's a little weird.
Is weird. It is weird. But I mean,
that's a lot of kids for a GoFundMe.
That's a lot of. That's what. Yeah, Eric Dane only has 2 kids. His GoFundMe flop, dude. 200 something K. After a couple days, that ain't looking good. You know what I mean? He tried to ride the coattails. I'm sorry, it's not funny. He's dead. You know what I mean?
This is why I glazed China, because if I die and make a GoFundMe, maybe China will give my family a recurring $2,500.
Yep, there you go. So this happened like last week.
Kaceytron friend.
We had talked about the Emiru situation, and so Emiru, Denim's, that whole situation, like, had nothing to do with Ethen. And Kaceytron was just reacting to what was happening, and Ethen, for some reason, took major offense to that. Kaceytron disagreed with what Emiru said and was siding with Denims. Ethen hates Denims, hates Kaceytron, even despite settling with Kaceytron, all of that sort of thing. This is what he had to say about Casey.
Kaceytron, friend of the show and my favorite benefactor. She's my favorite patron. Isn't it nice getting a check every month from my favorite patron? So friend of the show.
He's such an asshole, dude. Like, Jesus.
Kaceytron, everybody. And she has a take about Emiru. I'm surprised she's still running her mouth. I recall her apologizing to Asmongold, who she despises.
Yeah.
That was pretty humiliating. I'm surprised she's still running her mouth.
You know what I mean?
Running her mouth. I found that kind of, like, what a...
Well, his whole thing is that he wants to, like, own these people, right? Like, I beat you in law. I beat you in I made you settle on my terms. And now you have, like, I'm your internet daddy. You have to do whatever I want you to. I think that's kind of his whole thing.
Exactly. Like, very much a control thing, a fear thing.
Apologizing to Asmongold, who she despises.
Yeah.
That was pretty humiliating. I'm surprised she's still running her mouth.
You know what I mean? It's
No.
like her whole her whole platform is just like a
By the way,
to, like,
why are you
the
so
work.
mad at her? Like, they're talking about her so nasty. She didn't do anything except be like, why do I need to say fuck ICE? Like, I'm just here playing video games, right?
Worst fucking men. And
Well, I'm guessing it's the same
like-
reason that Denims is going in on her because of what she said about the lawsuit.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why she's mad. That was Casey. I think maybe Kaceytron forget her public statement, but she also thought my lawsuit was like really valid, and she wished me luck against the other people too.
Like, isn't, like, I find this whole thing, like, super sad. Like, he's not even trying to pretend. Like, he knows, everyone knows he forced her to read that thing, and somehow he finds that to be, like, good or based, and, like, he thinks it's something worth talking about in a way that, like, is good. I just find that kind of insane how he gloats about it when it's actually, like, imagine forcing someone to read, like, a statement that you wrote before just to, like, humiliate them on the internet.
So I think Kaceytron.
It's I don't know, man.
Like, hypocrisy is the lowest form of political commentary. Like, oh, this person's a hypocrite. And he's saying that she's being hypocritical because of a apology that he wrote and made her read by threat of, like, monetary damages. So it's like, she apologized to Asmongold, and now you're saying that, oh, it's hypocritical of you to be critical of Asmongold, a fucking Nazi?
Yeah. Well,
Like-
she didn't even mention Asmongold. I guess in that clip, she was literally just talking about, like, Emiru and Denim. So, like, what's his? And she's not even talking about him. Like, he's getting upset just for no fucking reason, just for the sake of getting upset.
Must have forgot her position on this, right? Hopefully, I don't have to remind her, right?
So people are taking that as, like, some kind of a veiled threat. Hopefully, I don't have to remind her what her position is. So does he want to reach out to Kaceytron? Does he think she broke something in the settlement? Like, I'm sure the settlement included something like, hey, don't talk about me or Ela anymore. I would not be shocked if that was one of the conditions, like, just leave us alone. Not that, and I'm sure Kaceytron doesn't even need that to be in the lawsuit. I think after being sued by this guy and by being, like, driven fucking insane and all that anxiety and stress, she herself doesn't probably want to talk about Ethen Klein ever again. She's more than happy to move on. Like, that's it, a dark chapter in her life. She doesn't need this fucking stress.
What do you guys think? Because I don't think he's, like, threatening to sue her again. He's got his hands full suing Denims and Frogan. I think this is just a call for his fans to go and harass
To harass her.
I think that's what that is. Hopefully, I don't need to remind her. Like, his
You guys
entire
go through that.
thing
Yeah.
is harassment campaigns. He whipped one up out of whole cloth to do the harassment campaign on that Billboard company, and he wants to, like, reignite the embers of this hatred against Denims and Kaceytron, which is what this whole segment was. This whole segment was insane. He completely glossed over what Emiru was talking about, with where she's like, I don't even know what ICE is, and then she just refuses to come right out and say, like, fuck ICE, like, pretending that she doesn't know what it is at all, like pretending that she's talking about frozen water. He ignores that, then just says that Denims is jealous of Emiru because Emiru got a ton of attention after she got sexually assaulted at TwitchCon,
That was fucking crazy. Yeah, the
which is
whole like
nuts.
insane.
And then
like,
he also says that like, oh, Denims and Kaceytron aren't actually criticizing Emiru for what she did. They're just obsessed with Emiru because she supported me one time in a comment like 8 months ago.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking. He loves weaponizing like sexual harassment and sexual assault to make a point. He doesn't give a shit about victims. He's always more than happy to use victims to just attack like another influencer. It's like the whole war in Iran, what was happening in Iran, the revolution, sorry, like the protests. He was literally just using that and celebrating that to shit talk IDubs and Anissa. Didn't give a shit about the actual victims or the people in Iran. Doesn't give a shit. Doesn't give a shit about the victims of sexual harassment. Doesn't give a shit about Emiru as a victim. He just wants to be like, how dare they speak about a survivor of sexual harassment? It's like, dude, shut the fuck up, man. Like, what are you doing? By the way, Chris sends a $2 dono and says the Brave movie already used this premise. Brave, the Pixar movie? It was about turning into a bear. It wasn't about, if that's what you're talking about, it wasn't about time and people dying and insurance and stuff. That's my original idea. Soon to be on Netflix. I'm gonna make it all on Seed Dance 2.0. Okay, I'm using that Chinese generative AI, folks. I'm kidding. Of course, fuck AI.
Oh god.
But did you guys see that shit? It's fucking scary looking. Like it's gone to that point. I think. Lemon
I think I saw it.
Lemon Mint Cat sends another $2 donor. Thanks so much, Lemon Mint Cat, and says, "Why is he such a freak? Leave the woman alone." He can't, Lemon Mint Cat. He wants to send his army of harassers. And again, I'm so ashamed that I never used to harass people, but like I can't believe I was a fan.
Just my opinion. But yeah, she sucks. And I mean, like, I don't know. I think that this was a long time coming. I think the other thing that was just like, okay, is how she didn't say anything whenever it came to Tectone and Pinky Chew. You know? She didn't say anything like in support of Pinky Chew or like, you know,
Yeah, that was also a very valid point. Like, she literally co-hosted a podcast with a rapist, a pedophile, and a fucking Nazi. Like, there's so many reasons to
start to a bad joke.
There's so many reasons to criticize like Emiru. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, like I don't associate with like it's.
So I mean, when are you going to announce your friends? For example, I know Mike from PA violently assaulted a couch. When are you going to speak out in defense of that?
Like she's making a good point. Like she's talking about someone who refused to disavow like a rapist or like, you know what I mean? And he's making a joke about Mike from PA punching a couch. Like, come on, dude.
That. Right? I mean, it's easy for you to say because you're not close to it. But like, if there was truth and honesty in the world, you would have denounced Mike from PA long ago for the horrible things he's done to couches.
So, incredibly
He's
stupid.
so out of it, dude.
So, and this was part of like a 40-minute segment, just going in on Denims, and literally him and Eli were like saying that Denims is just jealous of Emiru because they think she dresses better or whatever. It was so immature. It was so immature. I was watching that whole thing. I'm guessing, James, you reacted to that segment as well.
Yeah, it was so funny. He's like, I mean, Ethen has a very, very weird sexual fantasies about Denims. Like, he's on his stream fantasized about like, oh, she'd be such a bad girlfriend. I wouldn't even. He's like talking about how bad of a girlfriend she'd be. It's like, dude, you're imagining yourself with Denims as your girlfriend. Like, just let it go, bro. Let it go.
He can't. He's still in an active lawsuit. Like, I don't know where that's gonna go, man. Honestly, like. So, anyways, Denims.
I'm just happy that he's married because this man would be the he's already a horrible stalker, but like he's reined in a little bit by the fact that he has to pretend like he's still in a happy and stable marriage.
Mm-hmm. I think. Also, I do think he's happy. I think him and Eli generally like that. That's the part. Like I think they're right for each other at this point. They're made for each other, dude.
True.
Yeah,
true.
They're equally delusional and
like now,
hungry.
And now they've like isolated themselves from everyone. Like they're all they have. You know what I mean? Like she's lost such a huge following. He's lost a lot of his fan base. So they've kind of reinforced both of their opinions, and they've both dug their heels in the sand. So
it's like that Rick and Morty episode where they got like the negative emotions when Jerry and Beth went to marriage counseling, and then like their monsters were codependent.
Yes. That's kind of like what they are. Yeah, now they're probably more attached than ever before. Like they're closer to one another than ever before. CJ Theroux says, no shade to Mike from PA, but I promise 90% of his audience have no idea what the couch reference even is. I don't even know what the fuck that, I saw that on H3. Like, I had never heard of it. Like, I don't even know what that is. And
I got punched a couch?
Yeah, like on stream or something. And I got to meet Mike. We had Korean barbecue together when I was in LA. He was a very nice man. I like Mike. He's cool. So this is Kaceytron's response to Ethen. Very mature, I thought.
It's the first of the month, so get up. Bone Thugs and Harmony. Yeah. That's all I think when I see Kaceytron. I hear cha-ching.
So I just wanted to make a comment on this that I did have approved by my lawyer. I appreciate everyone's support and understanding over the past year. Well, I guess it's been a little bit less than a year, but in regards to the lawsuit, I made a decision that was best for me and my family. Threats of homelessness, amongst other disgusting things, were getting too much to bear, especially whenever it's not just me facing these threats. Ethen continues to make harmful statements directed at me, but rest assured, through the help of friends and family, I have completely moved on from the financial damage this man caused. It's been a tough year, but I'm looking so forward to the healing and growth ahead of me. That's all I wanted to say. I have moved on. And I have moved on from the financial damage.
It's the first of the month, so get up. Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Very mature. You know what I mean?
It's actually kind of a catchy jingle. It sounds like the beginning of some kind of sitcom. It's the first of the month.
It's just very sad that like, dude, you won. You fucking won. Like, since when is winning a lawsuit and like having someone read a pretty embarrassing, like it wasn't, I know why she did it, so I would never say what she did was embarrassing. I fully support Kaceytron and, like, you know, taking the settlement, just being done with this shit and doing whatever she had to do. But like, you got her to read whatever the fuck you want. You made her apologize to Asmongold, dude. Like, just fucking let it go. You got 2 more victims that you can go after. He's got 2 victims. Just go after Denims or Frogan if you want. Like, why do you still have to go after Kaceytron? Like, it's done. She can't even respond to you. Probably there's probably something in the settlement that's like, you can't attack me or my wife. So it's like, well, what are you even doing? Like, it's just crazy. You have 100 enemies that you can shit on your fucking podcast.
Yeah.
Chris sends an update, by the way. It says, Brave is a film by Johnny Depp where he is tortured and killed by Marlon Brando for cash. Damn. Leaving his poor family with some financial security. Well, I'm thinking that, but on a massive scale, where it's government sponsored. You know what I mean? Government.
So the government is what Squid Games basically, but the government's
basically
doing it.
Government, and you don't have to play any demeaning games. You just get, you know. But that's way less fun, actually. Yeah, that's way less.
Yeah, that's the best part.
That is the best part. It's like Squid Games, but more boring. No games. People just die by lethal injection.
It's just squid.
Okay. Did you guys get to talk about the James Charles Billboard on either of your streams? Have you guys covered this? I covered it already. Did you guys get a chance to talk?
Did you cover it, Casey?
No.
I don't know if I don't even remember if I did. I think it's so dumb. I think it's a perfect example of how his community operates, in which they need constant aggression and they always need like a new target, right? Like now they're like they're saying that this Billboard company protects pedophiles. Like,
oh, so the Billboard company took it down. Is that what's happening? Because I never.
What they're saying. They're saying that the Billboard company did take it down, and now they're like harassing the Billboard company. They're like, "We're gonna go to war against Lamar. This is the worst mistake that they've ever made."
Oh my God. Okay. So they've been harassing the Billboard. So yeah, because I know. So by the way, the point you just made, James, Ogre Boy made that. By the way, I think we should have Ogre Boy on the show sometime. I've interacted with him on Twitter. I've seen a couple of his of clips on stream. He seems like a chill dude. So he shared this clip of Ethen talking about the Billboard and says, I don't give a fuck about James Charles, not the point, but at the core of the podcast, is this really the glue, the connective tissue he needs a villain to wage war against? And that's actually, yes, Ogre Boy. He actually does. Like, that's what H3 is. Come to think of it, like, there was always a major villain on the horizon that they went after. If it wasn't Kavanaugh, it was Trisha Paytas. If it wasn't Trisha Paytas, it was James Charles in the past. It was random, I can't even remember anymore, like all these fucking people that they went after. Hassan for the last 2 years, of course. But yeah, there always needs to be drama brewing. Even when Ethen goes on vacation, for like Christmas vacation or the New Year vacation, he's brewing Taylor Lorenz. He brews drama while he's off. He gets into shit with people on Instagram. He starts getting that shit going so that he has like a drama ready to go when the show comes back. Like Taylor Lorenz said this, or like this person said this about me. Now we're back and we can finally respond. It is a show that lives off of drama, and I can even attest to that because as a lot of you people know, my show is very much inspired by H3 when we just did one podcast a week. With the crew now that I do live streams, the crew's only here once a week, but like it was mainly a very much H3 driven podcast, and I found to like maintain views and interest in my show, I was trying to start beef with every Lebanese like random TikToker on the planet. Like I would make a video making fun of them. I would hope for them to respond. Like my hope, I was like, please respond, because as soon as they respond, that's already the topic for my next episode. They respond, you get to watch the response, you get to respond to the response, then you hope they respond again, you put them on the thumbnail. That is what drives this whole thing. So as someone who did an H3 style show where we made fun of a lot of random Lebanese TikTokers and got into beef with them, it's a huge part of the show. And like them respond, like the whole thing. So that is definitely what Ethen is doing. That is what he needs. And he's reviving. And what's sad about this is like, I mean, look, I don't want to sound like I'm never going to defend James Charles. He's a piece of shit. He has messaged minors. There's a long history of him doing horrible things with minors or like trying to get in contact with minors. I don't know if he's actually ever been able to act on his desires, right, or do anything physically illegal, but he has indeed messaged minors, so fuck him. But it's just the fact that Ethen is going after him that makes this all feel so shallow. Like it's a shitty person going after maybe a slightly shittier person, you know what I mean, or definitely a shittier person. But here's just a couple of the tweets, TikToks. Ethen's been more than happy to share these all over TikTok. His TikTok's back. He's all James Charles centric now.
What do you mean Ethen Klein paid for this billboard that says "Say"?
Yes, it's true. I've spent about $10,000 to put up a full-sized billboard on a busy street in Los Angeles to remind everybody of the predator that James Charles is. With everybody talking about the Epstein files and thinking back on Harvey Weinstein and people like him that have got away with it for so long. And all the time, people are asking, how did we let this guy get away with it?
Thinking back, so he was just chilling, thinking about Harvey Weinstein randomly, the Epstein files, you know what I mean? Like they're eating babies alive and consuming baby feces or whatever. And he's like, you know what? I need to make a James Charles billboard. Again, fuck James Charles, go after him. If it was a nuisance for him, great. Fuck that piece of shit. But just having Ethen being the guy, there was a lady who shared a TikTok about him being like, yeah, this guy did this thing. What do you guys think? And everyone in her comments was like, yeah, good message, wrong messenger, basically.
I mean,
and
he had a pedophile themed Reddit account. He calls it, it's a pedophile themed account.
Troll, exactly.
It's so bad.
I'm looking at James Charles rebuild his career, collaborate with mainstream people, and I'm wondering, and it's all happening again. You ask, how does people like him get away with it for so long? And yet here we are allowing it to happen again. So far, this is the only good idea I've had to try to do something. And with somebody with resources and reach, I feel like, it's the least I can do to try to remind the people of Los Angeles and the world that this is what James Charles gets up to. And it's time we start calling him out. So I hope you all enjoy it, except you, James.
Excuse me.
So yeah, Ethen's taking a victory lap. So this is when they took it down a couple days ago. Oh, no, that's not it yet, though.
Well, as of this afternoon, I can confirm that the billboard is down. This is an interesting mystery at hand. The advertisers we work with say they had nothing to do with it. In fact, they say nobody's even working. It's a 3-day weekend because President's Day is on Monday, which leaves open the possibility that this was the work of a vandal, suggestive of James Charles or anybody else hired their own private crew to come remove the billboard during the middle of the day on Sunday. We don't yet know for sure who's responsible for this, but we will find out, and we will hold those responsible who are doing this to protect a predator. Regardless, this is not the end. This is only the beginning. Remember, it's not...
I need content for the next 6 months. I'm going to be putting up billboards all over Los Angeles for the next year.
Just about James. It's about...
What are the odds that he just told the company to take it down, or he paid for it for like 2 days and then the company took it down at the end of the at the time that it was supposed to be up for.
Exactly. Someone
The
said
skull situation.
Yeah, you can never be too sure. Someone said that they shared the response on Discord from the Billboard company, so I'm going to pull that up in a second and see what they had to say.
Those that enable him, those that work with him, those that still collaborate with him. It's time to double our efforts. More billboards. I'm going to get a Skyrider.
Yo, we got Alex in the chat.
Hey.
What up, Alex? Let me see if he... Wait,
this is what we do when we don't
is.
have a guest. So we need a guest to come in and elevate the show because we're just watching Ethen Klein TikToks right now.
Hey.
Boom. We got Alex. How's it going, Alex?
Yo,
Alex,
sorry
how
about
are
that.
you?
I was caught up editing. I totally forgot I had something booked today.
All good, my
no
dude.
problem.
Nice to have you here. Alex, if you guys will recognize Alex, most of you guys from his recent video from a couple of months ago talking about Ethan's war on female content creators, as well as his Jimmy Lee documentary from a while back. Alex, it's nice to meet you. Nice to have you here.
Yeah, great to talk to you guys.
I very much enjoyed your video a couple months ago. We watched it live on stream. And we're coincidentally, we're talking about Ethen right now. We missed a couple of topics that we'll get your opinion on a little bit later. But we're talking about the James Charles stuff. Curious what you think about that in a second as well. And finally, here's, I believe...
Minors.
Yeah, so here's...
So I just got news.
This was one of James Charles' potential victims. I think who James Charles reached out to, kind of talking about the situation.
This billboard was taken down by James Charles and his...
From one Ethen to another, let me assure you, my friend, this is only the beginning. This is the biggest mistake you'll have ever made, James. Well, besides messaging minors.
So I just got news. This billboard was taken down by James.
And some people seem to be liking this. So a lot of people can see right through what Ethen is doing. They can see it as like just a shallow ploy to get back on people's good side after the last 2 years of, kind of shitting the bed with the podcast. So Bryce Hall is taking the bait. You got Bryce Hall praising Ethen on Twitter, being like, I love Ethen Klein for this.
Boys have made allegations against James.
And then he's got a video right here.
Freaks are getting exposed. Imagine being James Charles right now. Just thinking you're safe because that Epstein stuff is going on. All the freaks are getting exposed. He's like, oh, thank God everyone's focused on these other freaks. And he's driving down Hollywood Boulevard and sees this shit. That is awesome. We have to give a round of applause to Ethen Klein for this masterpiece. Keep these freaks accountable, especially one that posts on social media every single day.
So what do you guys
Imagine
think?
being James Charles right
Let me
now.
stop that right now.
Just thinking you're safe because that Epstein stuff is going on. All the freaks are getting exposed. He's like, oh.
The rare 2x2 grid.
We got a 2x2?
Yeah. Well, it looks nice with a fourth person on
It does
there.
look much better with the fourth. Alex, nice to have you here.
Yeah, great to be here. Thanks.
We'll catch up in a second. Did you have a chance to catch up on any of the Billboard stuff? What do you think about this whole situation? Is it stupid? Do you think Ethan's doing a good thing? Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? The classic CNN question.
I don't know, man. I think it's kind of like a nothing thing, He's like still just grasping at attention, targeting his community at different people. I mean, in this case, like, I think like it's great to like pick out someone to go after for his community. So he's picking on someone who like the internet thinks is justified.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, what are the motives behind doing something like this, especially right now with everything happening? They're back from their break. Olivia's starting her own podcast. Everyone's kind of branching out and doing their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're, I don't know, it's just kind of, it feels played out to me. I don't know.
No, absolutely. And the Hassan drama is kind of dying down, so they need something else to hop on. And yeah, the James Charles stuff, like they talked about him like years ago when they used to think that he stole their like hoodie design when they did the Sisters merch and they did the color block hoodie, and they were going after him for that. So they've been going after James Charles for a while. This feels like they're just like reheating their leftovers, essentially.
It does feel a lot like they're just rehashing old stuff. I mean, he even said it in that TikTok. He's been thinking about like all of the stuff in the past few years, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna pull this out of my back pocket and throw it up on a billboard."
I think he also was posting so much about like how uh he was so excited to be back for his show. The numbers clearly didn't reflect even what they were getting before they went out for break.
Mhm.
And so then he does this to kind of drum up some conversation, and it doesn't. Does that really bring a lot more people to watch him? I don't know like what goes through the head of like Bryce Hall type fans, but I think that that's who Ethan's after getting watching the H3 podcast is people who are like, more TikTok brained.
Hmm.
Uh,
Alex, how much of H3 have you watched in the past year? Like how much torture have you subjected yourself to?
None, man. I mean,
None?
even when I made my video, I just downloaded it all and was doing transcript searches
Okay.
instead of watching through it because I just like I haven't watched it since the Jimmy Lee since I was like on there
Oh
with all the Jimmy
yeah.
Lee stuff and that kind of soured me on it. Like getting to experience the H3 chat and fan base like at that close range. I was like, oh, these people aren't cool at all. I thought they were like chill, fun people, but they're actually kind of like crazy parasocial weirdos. Versus like when like Hassan's watched stuff of mine, I've only received like really nice messages of people who enjoyed my stuff. The Ethen fans love to like create everything has to have like a story or a dastardly plot to it that like they're doing this to get close to Ethen. They're doing this to, there's always like a reason why the H3 fans will like disregard someone's like opinion or whatever. And it kind of just comes down to like, do we think Ethen would like them? Like what is the parasocial breakdown of how we mythologize this relationship?
uh, could you walk
That's
us
crazy
through?
that you got that. I was,
So,
I was just gonna say, like, that's crazy that you got that from like one interaction with that community. Well, one like big interaction from them.
yeah, I wanted to ask what was the controversy surrounding that? Like, were people telling you that they were accusing you of that you made like the documentary just to get close to Ethan or to the H3 community?
Yeah, it was a little bit of that. It was a little bit of like that. Then I released my thing like the same time this guy Mike Klum released a documentary on Boogie.
Hmm.
And Mike Klum had filmed with Jimmy Lee for like I don't know, like 3 days or something. And when I came out with my thing, the next day he goes on the H3 podcast and he's like, "Yeah, Alex pretty much plagiarized the entire Jimmy Lee documentary for me." Um, and they were all like, "Oh, I can't believe that! It's fucking Jimmy's fault, man!" And it was like my first movie and everything. They really shit talked me and were like, I'm like a small dude, doing this thing with like no budget and everything. I don't know, it just left like a really sour taste in my mouth.
No, I feel and I remember and also like I remember a scene in that documentary. Weirdly enough, like Ethan now going after James Charles, like there was a scene of like Jimmy Lee telling a waitress that he like literally wanted to sleep with her. Like they're in the restaurant and Ethan is just like sitting there creating content with this guy, invited him
Also,
on.
Jimmy, wasn't he like sexually harassing women who were like on the crew and stuff at the live shows?
He sexually harassed people at one of their live shows, I think,
Yeah.
absolutely. And then
I think
even
like the partners of the crew of some of the crew members.
yeah, and they didn't even like fully cut off their relationship with Jimmy until like a little while after that. And like there was even that video where Jimmy Lee like shows up to the live stream to the taping and then they call him out on all that stuff. And Ethan at one point says like I tried to like defend you, I tried to protect you. Like it was really uncomfortable. Like I don't know if you guys ever saw that when Jimmy
Yeah.
Lee just randomly showed up on the show.
Well, it wasn't random. Ethan invited him. None of the crew members wanted him there, and Ethan invited him for like because he wanted to have that conversation, that falling out on camera. For once again, it's for content. And even recently, Ethan was like, "Whatever happened to Jimmy Lee?
Jimmy.
We should bring him back onto the show." And they're like, "No, like we had a massive falling out with him." So, yeah, I mean, I think I don't know, Alex. Maybe you can talk about this since you've done more like cohesive films and documentaries on Ethan, but to me, it just seems like he doesn't really care about too much stuff and he just uses everything as like content and he has this like coterie of different characters that he will cycle in and out, and either they're a fan of the show and they're on his side, or they're enemies and he's blacklisted them, and then he'll use them as content where he harasses and targets them.
Yeah, I mean, I think that like the whole point of the show is to like harass and target people. And I think a lot of the time people can start off as friends of the show or start off as enemies of the show and then like turn around based on how they treat Ethen, right? So like we hate Steve Will Do It because he jerks off his dog. Then we come back full circle that actually Steve Will Do It never did that, guys, even though he said he did a bunch of times. Now Ethen likes Steve Will Do It. So Steve Will Do It never did that.
He gave Ela a watch, so that's it. Like he bought her like an expensive Rolex, I remember, as like a gift, so he's part of the family.
Yeah, no, I just think like it's kind of like rules for thee but not for me type shit. So
yeah.
And he's basically courting like Asmongold's audience, XQC's audience, Sam Hyde's audience, anyone who hates iDubbbz.
Even Keemstar, he says that like Keemstar's show is his and Hila's new favorite show that they always watch, which is hilarious. It's just, yeah, you're either on their side or not on their side.
That was something that I argued about Ethen with via text because he accused me of calling him a lol cow because I retweeted something. It was a picture of him wearing Keemstar merch, and my friend Steve Asarch tweeted something like, Ethen, this is fitting because Ethen's just a lol cow now. And like, I just never thought I'd see the day when like Keemstar's biggest hater would fucking put on Keemstar merch.
Dude, like he called Hila a horse for years, and he called Lena a witch. Like, and he's making the crew as well. Like, just wear that merch, which is extra like embarrassing, I find. At least AB and Lena, like, holy shit, like, come on, man. He's like calling your wife a witch, and like he's making you wear the hoodies proudly, and I don't know, yeah. It
kind of reminds me of there was this like restaurant in my area growing up in South Florida, and it was like a wings place. It's the best fucking wings you could get in the area. But the owner was like an insane Republican guy who's constantly hosting Ron DeSantis.
Oh fuck.
And so like when DeSantis ran for president, he had all the waiters and stuff wearing fucking DeSantis hats.
Oh my god.
And like you want to go get the wings because they're really good wings, but it's kind of uncomfortable when the person taking your order is like swagged out in DeSantis drip. And that's kind of what it's like when you go to Ethen's studio. They all are wearing like Keemstar merch, and either that or they're having to wear Teddy Fresh, which I hear is very well made.
Oh yeah.
Far Twain sends a $2 donut. Thank you, Far Twain, and asks, does Alex think Ethen sent himself the skulls? Do you have any
I talked with Taylor Lorenz about this a fair bit, the skull thing, because Ethen kept texting me about the fucking skulls. And it's like, I don't think that he sent himself the skulls, but I also don't think that like we don't know who sent the skulls, number one, and we don't know what the purpose of the skulls is. And he kind of like invokes it as like this ultimate, they sent me my family's human skulls, and I just don't know if it carries that type of weight, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I've had some people like I've covered some like crazy like lol cow communities, like some deep dark shit, and had people send me like crazier shit in the mail. I'm not gonna give people ideas, but I've received like powdered substances in envelopes of like people basically trying to like make me think that I was getting anthrax in the mail and shit. And like I don't know, like not to compare, and this is the thing that I got into with Ethen of like, sometimes it feels like really shitty to receive hate on the internet, but you have to understand that like the creators who are engaging in this type of rhetoric are perpetuating the problem, So like if Ethen were to stop today, if Ethen says like, I'm not going to like pick fights with people anymore, I'm going to go back to doing mostly goofs and memes, which I don't think he can physically do anymore. But like,
yeah,
if he were to do that, all the people hating on him and like making content off of him and stuff would go away, because the thing that people are making content about is this like issue and this drama thing that is like unfolding currently. It's like this extended crash out of Ethen Klein, and people are interested in it. And so the way the content ecosystem works is that people are like, I'm interested in this thing. I want to watch a video about it. They're going to come to your podcast. They're going to go, you know, whoever's going to make a video about it, they're going to watch it. But is that perpetuated by you guys, or is that perpetuated by Ethen, or is it this weird holistic thing that it's like this battle that keeps occurring? And like part of the problem is as creators, you want to continue making stuff about it and talking about it, especially if they're saying your name and then you say their name. I don't know, what do you guys think about this? Like what's our position in there in terms of like not necessarily provoking Ethen, because everything and anything provokes him, but like in terms of like the content ecosystem of it all?
It's certainly like I mean, I say my perspective, like I got into it because I used to be a massive H3 fan, and I live in Lebanon. If you can tell, like when we lost power, I might get some random electricity cuts because we're here. But like as someone who's a fan of theirs for many years, I have a whole bunch of Teddy Fresh in the closet, watched them for like literally like 7 years or something. So when they started talking about what was happening in Palestine, I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, holy shit, I thought you guys were one way. And I remember their statements, and every time they would put out an anti-Netanyahu statement. And back in the day, they used to be good enough for me. But once the genocide started, I was like, okay, I need to know what these people think. And they kept coming back week after week with horrible takes. So I got into it being like, hey, I used to be a massive fan. Let me just talk about this because maybe this can get to them. Maybe they can watch my criticism and actually have some kind of like, they could hear what one of their fans, very loyal fans who started, like my whole show was basically pitched as like an H3 style show, but in Lebanon. I tried to do a Lebanese version of H3. We would go after Lebanese creators, make fun of them, like start whatever the fuck they would do. I would try to do something similar here in Lebanon. So I was like, I just want to call them out and on what they're doing, because what they're doing is extremely wrong, and I just want them to know that like a lot of their fans disagree with that, etc. Then they started like calling me an anti-Semite, calling me a racist, like just crazy fucking shit for just making very normal and very fair criticisms of what they were saying, and saying what they were saying like it sounds kind of like Zionist, you know what I mean? And
Sure.
then they kept responding to us and calling me names, so I would just like, hey, H3 responded. It's kind of like what you're saying. I got into the loop of like, and people were, the channel was growing, we were getting a bunch of new people subscribing because they wanted to follow what was happening in that situation. So I did kind of fall into that back and forth, but like also I felt like I had to like defend myself, because you have this guy on this massive channel with almost 3 million subscribers calling me with barely 20,000 subs like an anti-Semite, a racist, a piece of shit. They tried to get their audience to mass report my channel live, like to literally remove my channel from YouTube. So I was like, I just want to set the record straight. And I also didn't like the fact that a lot of people were scared to go after Ethen, because you know how his audience is, and they're going to send their audience after you, and they're going to talk about you, and they're going to try to say all this shit about you. I was like, fuck that. Like, I don't really give a shit. Like, to me, it's way more important to use that. And it was an interesting way to talk about Palestine, because I'm not a news channel. I've never really talked about news. It was an interesting way to bring up that topic and to keep talking about Palestine and Israel by using the hook of Ethen and Hassan as an entry point to get people in, and I would get them in. And then I'd spend an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours looking at videos about Palestine and what was happening there. So it was also kind of a way to get the message out by using this idiotic drama that fucking would never end.
Let's talk about the Palestine stuff for a second, because I think it's really important to this conversation. Ethen, like Birthright is like a big part of Ethen's life. He met his wife on Birthright. None of you guys have been on Birthright. I've been on Birthright. I can tell you exactly what happens on these trips, which is that they sit you down in a room and they basically have every program is meant to indoctrinate you into making a connection between the Holocaust and Israel. And to the point that like, by the end of these programs, you're supposed to think if someone criticizes Israel, they're basically saying they want another Holocaust to happen. And it's it's crazy because I think like as Jews, you're supposed to also be able to recognize like the thing they teach you that's like the most like important thing in the Holocaust education stuff is like if you ever see something Holocaust like happening to another people, doesn't matter who, you have to say something, you have to stand up for that. And now you have all these Jews who are not standing up for, you know, what's happening in the right way, I would say. And I think like Ethen, for example, has always doing some sort of whataboutism and always like finding a way to divert blame onto Palestinians and Palestinian creators, especially because Ethan's war is not fought between Israel and Palestine. Ethan's war is fought against pro-Palestinian creators in like a war of ideology on the internet.
100%. And yeah, the hummus panel, the Twitch panel that got Frogan and Capri and Raf banned from Twitch for a month. I also wanted to talk about that a lot because they're my friends. Like I know them, so I was like, how and I felt like not enough people were defending these people online, or not enough people were criticizing Ethen. Now it's everybody's doing it. It's like that's it. The dam was broken and no one's afraid to do it anymore. But like at the time, yeah, like I felt it was just kind of insane. And Comrade Casey's video kind of started the whole thing. So some might say, with the come on.
No,
You did.
well,
You were one of the firsts a while back. Yeah.
Yeah, sort of. I think just because, like right before it happened, I started making videos related to Ethen as like a fan. So then I was sort of in the perfect. It was sort of the perfect scenario just to like flip it and continue talking about him, but more and more critically, you know, until it was kind of just common knowledge that he was this crazy Zionist. But going back to the birthright, there's like, I think this is confirmed that there's sort of like it's almost like a program to introduce like Americans to like pretty Israeli women, and people think that like the Ethen meeting Hila story at the wherever they were at some sort of Holocaust museum. Do you buy into the theory that maybe Hila was some sort of Mossad agent and trying to get Ethen on board?
I think that like if you're in the IDF and you're like, I know a lot of Israelis who like did not want to serve in the IDF, right? So I'm from South Florida. There's like a ton of people who like fled Israel for America there. And most of them did not serve in the IDF. They fled instead of serving. Or they like found a loophole to get out of it. If you like went and kind of like happily served your time in the IDF like Hila did, and then got involved with like the birthright scene, because like what happens is like that's part of how you get like special stuff in the military, right? Like you go to like Jewish summer camps in America, you go to and like I know that like the Israeli Scouts program, for example, they're sending like the hottest Israelis to America to try to like, you know, hook up with people. But it's not
wait. Was Hila part of that program?
No, not that. Israeli Scouts is a different program.
Okay.
Israeli Scouts go to like Jewish summer camps across America.
Like Boy Scouts, like regular Scouts. Like,
like Boy Scouts, regular Scouts, but they teach them like how to like make pita, which is Israeli, by the way. Like I don't know if you guys know. Pita's from Israel, guys.
Of course.
So is poutine also from Israel.
Absolutely.
But
I was called a racist and an anti-Semite for saying that Israelis were appropriating Arab food, essentially. That was enough. Me just saying that was enough to call me an anti-Semite. Which is crazy.
So no, I just think that like if you're involved in those type of programs, you're probably Zionist. Like on Birthright, they take you to the grave of Theodore Herzl and say like Zionism is really important. It's like the most important thing that we have. You guys all have to like raise. I think they say something like raise your hand if you're a Zionist, and like everybody raises their hand.
Shit,
that's awesome.
But yeah, like there's this other program that they do called like March of the Living that Ethen didn't go on, but it's like a much more brainwashy program where they take you through every single concentration camp. Or not, they take you through like the major concentration camps in Eastern Europe and they hammer into you like the Holocaust, the Holocaust, the Holocaust. And then they take you to Tel Aviv and let you get drunk. And then they're like, guys, like,
Yeah,
what do you
yeah.
think? Don't you love Israel?
Dude.
So yeah, no, I mean, like, I was like brought up in a lot of this and like was always very like skeptical of like brainwashing and indoctrination type stuff. But, like, I've seen a lot of people who I know get like washed into that, and it's the same type of like energy and talking points and fear. That's the most important thing. It's like the paranoia and the fear
Yeah.
that these people are experiencing. And
Everyone's out
like
to get you. Like,
it's not unique to Ethen, and that's why he feels so justified in doing it because he has a community full of people who are agreeing with him, and there's other Jews out there on the internet who are agreeing with him. And you have people who obviously like combat that, but like it's very easy to just put your blinds on and say, no, no, this is anti-Semitism. You don't understand. And if you're Jewish and you don't think this is anti-Semitism, then you're one of the bad ones, which is like that's like what Alan Dershowitz says.
Right.
yeah.
How has that been in your experience? Because like you're obviously not an Ethan Klein level Zionist. Have you been like have relationships been ruined because of like post October 7th and the rise of the tensions of being like pro or anti-Zionist?
Yeah, sure. I mean, a bunch of people, but like I've been like, the thing is like American Jews have pushed further right for a long time. There's some like Democrat American Jews, but like a lot of them have pushed further towards like being Republican than you would think. So, I mean, like people who I know personally who see my content are like already mad at me because in 2022 I pranked Alan Dershowitz and was like doing that. I was already doing that type of shit years ago and criticizing Israel. So I just think like yeah, I mean, I don't really like I think there's a lot of people who are Jews who are like, oh, like, but what about us? And I'm one of those people who's just like, I really like don't give a shit what like American Jews are going through right now emotionally because like that's just not the reality of what's happening. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's crazy. Like people are being like slaughtered and shit. If you want, like, I tried to show my mom some of those videos. She's like, I can't watch that shit. And it's like, I think a lot of people are just so willing to like turn a blind eye to it
Yeah.
instead of like look at what's actually going on over there, which is like so much worse than how you might feel inside as like a like wealthier person living in America.
Yeah, that was one of the just the biggest turnoffs of that whole period with H3 because like yeah he made it all about himself. Like not only were they spewing Zionist propaganda and saying like if you say from the river to the sea that means you want every Jewish person in Israel to be killed, or they were repeating literally the human shield line. They were saying that like Hamas builds bases under hospitals. They were
He
literally
said
sitting
he
there.
wanted to take a trip to Israel to show his fan base how great of a country it
How
was.
great it
How
was.
there was no like Jim Crow style laws in Israel. It's like,
and yeah, he
there's,
kept
like no apartheid in it. He's like he's gonna bring a camera crew to make a production about how good Israel was, and then they decided not to because of I don't know.
and how
It was too
difficult,
dangerous.
yeah, and like how difficult life is for him as an American Jewish person living in America. Well, Alex, I just wanted to ask you as well, like while you were on Birthright, did you know at the time like this is all brainwash? Like were you not falling for it, or did you have like did it take you some time to like go back to that and realize, oh shit, like I see what was going on, or like as soon as it was happening, you kind of knew what was up?
No, I went when I was in college. So I was already like, I went to college at NYU, so I was like already black
Okay,
pilled
yeah.
on all the Israel shit.
So
But
you're already woke.
yeah, I was already woke. But the thing is like, I genuinely believe this. If you are a Jewish person and you don't like Israel, you should go on Birthright and take a spot away from somebody who would otherwise be radicalized on Birthright. because I think like the whole purpose of the trip is that Republican Jews are like donating money to like get other people like radicalized into Zionists.
Mhm.
So if you can go on the trip and like kind of sow dissent, which I mean, I wasn't like going around pulling people aside being like, on the other side of that wall, there's some fucked up things going on. I was
Mhm.
just kind of like being a dick to the leadership and asking really shitty questions during the like group time when we would like have group discussions. I'd be like, "Oh, but what about this?" Um, but yeah, you know what I mean? Like I think like it's important to take a spot away from somebody because otherwise you're gonna have more people who go on. There's only a certain amount of spots they get per year to do
Mhm.
that thing.
Uh, yep. That's actually, I love that plan, to be honest with you. Quick question: did you get to just stick in just one final like Ethen question, unless someone else wants to ask anything else? Did you see what Ethen was saying about Kaceytron? Just I wanted to see. Do you have any comments about like him still talking about Kaceytron? She settled. She made the apology. She read that fucking letter that he wanted her to read. It's like he's still going after her, and then she put out a very like mature response that we listened to just earlier, where she's like, "Listen, I'm doing good. I've moved on." Just what do you think about Ethen like still not letting that go and still going after Kaceytron
Well, like
for that?
legally, right? I think like the whole point, if you guys like look at how he structures these settlements, right?
Mhm.
Is she can't disparage him. She can't really say anything about him.
Mhm.
But
I'm sure that's part of it.
he can talk about her as much as it's called like one-way non-disparagement.
Okay.
And I know a lot about this kind of stuff because I had to represent myself in a defamation case and I won.
Damn.
And
Okay.
I have this crazy scar on my forehead because I got attacked by a murderer. I like exposed this dude
Jesus.
admitted to me on the phone that he murdered a girl. And I like went to ask him a final question about it. He bashed my head open with a selfie stick.
Oh my
Um,
god, dude.
and I sued him because no lawyer would represent me in some dumb social media case. And so short of it is, I know a shit ton about this legal stuff, and like what he's doing is definitely some kind of one-way non-disparagement. So he's just making like use of this thing that he paid for is the way that I feel like he sees it, not necessarily like that he's still mad at Kaceytron, but more so that he's like utilizing this like strong arm that he has against her
Mhm.
because she can't disparage him back in any way.
That's kind of the feeling. I was kind of sure that he had some condition in there, like you can't talk about us. But it's kind of I found it crazy that he's still out there talking about her. So he knows that she can't respond. Whatever he says, she just has to sit there and kind of take it.
Right, and it is crazy because it's like just like he brings her up out of while she was talking about Emaru. Like that tweet about Emaru had an insane amount of likes and views, and he's talking about Kaceytron. Like he's making it about her. So that's an interesting way to put it. Like he's trying to get his money's worth out of this, essentially. I have one more question. Like, how Alex, how much do you think Ethen Klein's audience has merged with Destiny's audience? And how much do you think that has like informed his behavior that we've seen over the
Mhm.
past like year and a half?
I mean, Destiny's audience is like termites or whatever, right? They kind of just like weasel their way into these communities. And if you look on like Ethan's subreddit, right? Click on whatever account is on the top posts. I guarantee you that account is pretty active in the Destiny subreddit.
Mhm.
And it's not like coincidence. It's not a coincidence. And like, it's really that like that Ethen has like established himself. I think like when I can like blanket say we all used to watch H3 podcast. Um, the the like assumption that we all had was that Ethen, while being quite wealthy, was like into like leftist and progressive policies. And that's kind of what we liked about him was that he was like supportive of that stuff while also being like comedic and like kind of nonchalant compared to watching someone like Hassan, who's like gets really deep into like the details of that stuff. So when they did Leftovers together, it's like, oh, you're marrying the funny guy who kind of talks about politics with the guy who's incredibly analytical and really breaks stuff down in a way that people like. That should be a great combination.
I was so happy when they announced that shit. Like, I was like, two of the creators that I love coming together. I thought it was gonna be great. Like,
but instead, what we saw, I mean, I'm sure you guys who are a lot more politically, aware than I am, you get to see Ethen like slowly realize that he is not at all understanding what type of politics Hassan and most of his viewers, like most of Ethan's own viewers, are, belonging to. And I think like that's the moment, you're watching that and you're like, oh, this is really bad.
Well, he got manipulated by Hassan. Hassan's this mastermind that wormed his way into the show.
Yeah, mastermind who constantly says, I hate Democrats, I hate Democrats.
Yeah, Ethan's like, what?
The whole capitalism debate. Yeah, that's when kind of Ethen started to feel like there was a rift between him and like Hassan's audience. I do remember him kind of pushing on that. But yeah, I guess that was when it started to happen, and yeah, that's when Ethen started to realize that maybe he was fooled. He's been fooled for the last like 2 years.
But yeah, no, I just think that like the actual like crux of that issue is that Ethen got all of these fans over the years who all thought this one type of way, and now he pushed them all out. He really has pushed everybody who agreed with him and gave him such good faith when he would fuck up and say dumb shit.
Yeah.
All of those people are gone, and the ones that are left are incredibly parasocial. The ones that are left are like, will ride or die for him, which is what he wants, and that's why he says he's glad he pushed all those people out of his community. But in actuality, it's not good to push people out of your communities. And when Ethen Klein fans come into my DMs and they're mad at me for making a video about him, I'm like, listen, I think it was all fair criticism as someone who's spoken to him before and stuff. And if you don't like me because of that, that's a shame, but I'll always like you. And there's always a place in my community for you if you decide that you would like, I'm not going to make you pick sides between me and Ethen, because I think that's silly. And I think Ethen shouldn't make his community pick sides between him and so many people, or you're going to keep creating all these walls around yourself and then constantly posting about how you're losing, oh, I feel like I'm minutes away from quitting. I'm just, I'm being regarded worse than rapists and pedophiles. What it really is that
that's like a Trump tweet.
You've built all these walls around yourself, and now nobody likes you and nobody likes your vibe. And that's a huge thing in LA. Yeah. Everybody's so like into vibe out there that like in New York, you can get away with like being an asshole to pretty much everybody as long as you like are nice to the people in your neighborhood. But like Ethen has like taken that New York mindset of like going to war constantly and like everything's a battle, and he's waging it on the California front with all of the like PR people out there and stuff. They don't want anything to do with him, man. Like how does he not realize that as someone who criticized like that same type of behavior for years and years? He's criticizing like FouseyTube, who like famously was utilizing the PR system for so long to get popular and now is like incapable of getting any representation.
Weirdly enough, FouseyTube now has a better reputation. Like he's making a comeback. He's doing like the bodybuilding. He's won a champion. Like FouseyTube is doing great. Ironically,
Ethen can come back too. As long as he. I mean, it takes a long time, but like I genuinely think that like he's not gonna win like me back.
Yeah.
But like he'll win back people who like don't care about politics that much and just like watching like a podcast where people are all talking in the same room.
I think the James Charles thing might work with like whoever hates James Charles and are not aware of what was happening for the last 2 years or don't care about the Zionism stuff. The James Charles stunt might work on them. Like he's trying, I think, to go now for like also like like independents in elections when they're trying to go for like the undecided. I think that's the only people that are left that he could still get, because at this point everyone knows what he's about. And he's also like, just to add to your point, he's isolated himself and Elan. He's isolated the crew. Like, not only, okay, it's one thing to do that to yourself and your wife, like it's your podcast, but like no one wants to associate with anyone from the crew anymore. Like, I'm happy for Olivia. She's starting a new podcast now. Like, she's been able to get out of there unscathed, hopefully. But like AB and Lena, like Dan, Zach, all these people, it's like, I don't know, like you guys are loyal to I get being loyal and they were fans of his, but like no one wants to fuck with them anymore. And everyone's more of a fan of Hassan. So like there's all these young creators that are going to side with Hassan. So no one wants to associate with H3. They decided to launch a makeup brand halfway through this fucking thing. Like are there any women like still watching H3 like they used to? Like, are Asmongold fans supposed to buy Teddy Glow? Is that what they think is going to happen? Because that's not going to fucking happen. People like me that spent, I'm ashamed to say how much money I spent on Teddy Fresh in the past. You know what I mean? I'm obviously not supporting them anymore. And there's thousands more like us who...
He's still buying Teddy Fresh.
I'm not. I have so much of it and I don't know what to do with it.
Ethen really is his own worst employee, though.
Absolutely.
Like, he's just like, if Ethen, like, if he, like, third person was, like, seeing that in, like, one of his employees, he would probably want to fire them. So, you know, I just think he's so down bad at a certain point for negative attention that he's like become this unstoppable force for ruining his own career.
Yeah,
it's pretty bad.
And they've gone too far to come back. Oh, Jay of the Dead says Adam McIntyre is pissed about Olivia right now. I don't follow much about what Adam McIntyre does. Yeah, Adam and Olivia had like a friendship, weren't they? And then that whole thing, the whole thing got fucked. Like iDubbbz used to be friends with AB. That's fucking gone. Like they can't have any friends anymore.
He's trying to turn the whole thing into like Lolcow Live now too. Like he's got Girl with a Microphone and Harley Morenstein doing an after show. I mean, I haven't watched that, but I think that's really great for Girl with a Microphone and Harley, because like Harley doesn't like...
Dude, Harley was irrelevant for the past 3 years. Like what got Harley, the only reason I even remembered who Harley was because of Creator Clash 1. I was like, holy shit, this dude, like he's in Creator Clash. Like I had forgotten Harley even existed. If you go to his channel, his videos get like 1,000 to like 5,000 views. He's like, Harley's just a regular creator at this point. Like, yeah, he's benefiting.
Reviewing podcast.
He was reviewing. Yeah,
he had, I would never have thought like one of the most subscribed to YouTube channels when I was like watching YouTube as a kid is now like the after show of a failing podcast.
Literally picking up his leavings.
It's
like
insane.
every episode.
And
but again, what it is that you have this guy who is Jewish and who is like aligned ideologically with Ethen and feels like it's his time to like step up and defend like the thing that they're trying to defend, which at its core is actually Zionism. Mm-hmm. They may not see it as Zionism, and that's what like Birthright does to your brain, is it kind of like helps you put up all those walls so that when you're in those situations, you can say, no, I swear I'm not Zionist, and I really have a bleeding heart for what's going on for those poor children in Gaza, but exactly, and then they go into their whole thing, and that's why Ethen is platforming him. It's not to actually make his show better, because who's that for?
Yeah, the after show, that's for just the most parasocial. Like that is for like the top 5% of his remaining audience, which are already the most obsessed and like most parasocial. No, it's crazy.
Well, Alex, something that we've been kind of thinking about is like, how far right is Ethen going to go? Because like a lot of his effective content has been attacking leftists, right? And he's firmly planted himself in the vein of like Destiny style liberalism of like, oh, militant, it doesn't matter really how far right you are as long as you voted for Kamala Harris. At the end of the day, you've done more for Palestinians than like Hassan has done. He made Kaceytron apologize to Asmongold in a video. He's talked about how Asmongold isn't that bad, right? Like he doesn't really seem to have any kind of moral stance on politics at all. It's simply reaction to him. So do you see a day where Ethen will just collaborate with Asman? Like he's collaborated with Steiny in the past, kind of uncritically. More
Didn't he just bring
openly.
Deaf Noodles on for like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
tell-all interview?
Yeah.
I guess he's
Unwatchable
already
debate.
doing this shit. Why am I asking?
No, I mean, of course, I think like eventually he'll push more towards like, I don't know if he'll fully be like, I'm a right-wing creator, because I think you're walling yourself off in like a crazy way doing
Yeah.
that, and he understands that. But I think eventually he's gonna start calling himself like a centrist,
A centrist, yeah.
or like a libertarian or something like that.
Common sense Democrat. I'm a Democrat, I'm a liberal, but with common sense, not too crazy. Don't defund the police. Yeah, he'll go like
Also, I just think that
central.
like every like large breed dog that he gets pushes him a little further right wing.
Yeah, I have a theory that MMA fighters, every time they take brain damage, they become more conservative. And I think it's the same with like the dogs that Ethen gets.
They're calcifying the pineal gland.
Yeah.
What happened to Sean Strickland, by the way?
He won. I was so pissed off.
Come
Yeah,
on. It was a bad day.
it was a bad day.
If you guys are done talking about Ethen, I had a couple of questions that I wanted to ask you, Alex, about.
Yeah, let's drop this topic now. I think we've given him enough time.
Sure.
Do you guys want to go over any of the topics that we talked about previously and get Alex's take on it real quick before I ask him about his Michael Jackson impersonator documentary that he's working on? Because dude,
thank you, I
wanna
appreciate
hear
that
about the
so
Michael
much.
Jackson.
No,
I want to hear about the
Thank
Michael
you.
Jackson
Hee-hee.
documentary.
I want to
so-
hear about that.
So I just to like let you know, I'm super interested. I saw you sharing that clip. So as soon as they dropped that Michael trailer like 3 months ago, and then Fabio Jackson started like complaining that he doesn't look enough like Michael, and then I discovered Fabio Jackson, Michael Trapson. I saw them doing like
Michael Trapson, I'm talking to next week.
dude. I'm so happy you're
And
making
Fabio,
this.
I'm working on it with Fabio. He's in California, so I've got to like fly a crew out or something.
Dude,
but it's all happening behind the scenes.
Dude,
yeah.
I sent Fabio like a TikTok DM
That's
like
sick.
2 months ago, like, hey, would you want to come on the show? Like, he never obviously even looked at it. But I've been following these fucking impersonators, and I saw the clip you shared of the impersonator that was in your Ethen video, and you shared a clip of his. I saw him in a 3-way TikTok live with those guys. I just want, first of all, what inspired you to start this? I have a thing with impersonators. I think they're just very funny people. I had a whole series in my head about an impersonator that I wanted to do back in the day. How did that get started? What's the process like? Like, what's the story about? What can you tell us about the documentary? I spent 2 live streams talking about those Michael Jackson impersonators. I'm like super into that shit.
I appreciate it. So like, I've had this thing. I like, if you guys watch my channel a lot, I do like pranks sometimes on like political figures. So like Alex Jones, I've pranked Alan Dershowitz, Daily Wire, Josh Sider, this like transphobic guy on Twitter. And every time I do one of these, ever since I think it was Dershowitz, I had this idea of like, because I was gonna originally, instead of doing it over Zoom, I was gonna meet him in person in his office, and I was gonna bring all these Michael Jackson impersonators with me and have them start coming in one at a time, asking me what time we were leaving, and that was it. And then and I just kept like, so I was like getting in touch with all these guys and just like understanding like the different world of the Michael Jackson impersonators, and I just like it like occurred to me before I did the Ethen video on my channel that like getting all these Michael Jacksons together or like doing a documentary about them or something would be really interesting. So I started working on that, and I met with the guy who's in my Ethen video, and I was just like, that was like the first time I ever met with him. I was like, hey, what do you think? Here's $350. What do you think about like reading this scene with me? I want to see if we can like do something funny. And he was like, yeah, sure. So we did the scene, and I floated to him like, hey, I have this other project I want to do that's about Michael Jackson impersonators. And that guy was like, yeah, well, like, I'd love if you could profile me, I have like a class for Down syndrome and autistic adults where we dance to Michael Jackson and they show up dressed as Michael
Oh,
Jackson.
that's
and
so cool. That's
Yeah,
fucking
so
awesome.
so I went to the class and all these kids could dance better than me. Like all these kids were busting it the fuck down. And I was like, and I realized like here's this opportunity actually for me to make something that's about like my issues and my struggles because I think my work a lot of the time I'm like highlighting people who are bad or highlighting people who have like I went to Korea and spent time with Johnny Somali.
Oh shit, yeah, yeah.
So like, I'm always trying to find like the worst fucking person and spend time with them because I think that helps me like understand something about like making stuff on the internet and like why people want to be like seen or whatever. But now I'm trying to like focus on like my issues and my problems. And I think my biggest issue and problem is like my vulnerability. I think like I portray myself as like content terminator. I'm always like I'm this like robotic, takedown, whatever. And that's not actually who I am. I'm really sensitive and like I have trouble like expressing myself in those type of ways. So I'm like this is kind of like my Nathan Fielder moment where I get to like yesterday I was in Times Square dressed as Michael Jackson, and I made $5 and a Chick-fil-A coupon, dancing for people and like taking selfies as Michael Jackson in Times Square. And the idea is that like I'm going to like as I'm interviewing these guys and learning about Michael Jackson impersonators, I'm gonna like become one myself.
Yo, that's so sweet. Are they teaching you like some dance moves? Are you getting like some
They're teaching me
skills?
dance moves. They're teaching me the makeup. They're teaching me
Yes.
like all of the Michael Trapson's gonna teach me how to lose weight so I can be like skinny like Michael because all these people yesterday were telling me that I was too fat to be Michael Jackson. So it's like I don't know like I'm not like fully like because I haven't edited the whole thing. I'm not like fully at the end of what the idea is supposed to be, but I want to try to get them all in Atlantic City together to
yeah.
to compete for like a prize money, and I want to call it like America's Next Top Michael.
Oh, dude, that'd be so fucking awesome.
So that's the big pitch of the idea, but like the smaller version of it is that I'm making this like feature-length documentary, and if the documentary does well, hopefully I'll be able to like do the live show type thing.
Dude, that sounds so fun. I watched Michael Trapson's like audition to play Michael in the movie. Like I watched the whole thing. I went down the rabbit hole. Like it was super interesting. So it's more from like are you like a Michael Jackson fan like to begin with or is it just like you found them to be interesting characters and you can tell your story through them? Or do you have any fandom with Michael Jackson? Anything of that sort, or like just don't give a shit? It's just mainly.
I mean, like I like Michael Jackson. My mom like dressed as Michael Jackson for her 16th birthday, and like I really like. There's this movie Captain EO that used to play in Epcot that was like George Lucas and Francis Ford Coppola produced together,
Oh,
and
shit.
it was like Michael Jackson in Star Wars before Disney owned Star Wars.
Oh,
And
sweet.
it was edited by the guy who edited The Godfather. So it's like it's a fucking crazy movie. It's a crazy movie. And it's the most expensive short film ever made. And Jim Henson provided all the puppetry for
Oh my
it.
God.
Like it's a fucking
Holy
insane
shit.
movie.
Wait, what's it called?
It's called Captain EO, like EO.
EO. Jay of the Dead says Michael Fatson.
Yeah, Michael Fatson. I got a lot of that
You
yesterday.
got Michael Fatson.
But yeah,
Have you
Sorry,
come
what were you
across like anyone talking about like Jordan Neely? Because wasn't he like a Michael Jackson impersonator?
So that's something that I've been like thinking about including in this in some type of way. I'm just trying to figure out how to do it in like a respectful, because this thing is supposed to be
Right.
so like funny in a way, but also like
You don't wanna make-
yesterday I rode the F train dressed as Michael Jackson, and I was like, hey, that like I was on the F train at Delancey, Essex, where this kid got fucking choked to death, like on the same exact
shit.
train. So, and I was dressed as Michael Jackson. So I was like, oh, this is something that's like on my mind, but like, how do I include that in a respectful way is
Yeah.
something that I'm still like working out. But yeah, no, it's important for sure.
Because how like closely knit is the community there? I'm just wondering, like, is this something that you
I don't think any of
need
them
to
knew
do?
that guy. None of
They
them
don't
knew.
know.
I've asked them about like the one guy who you've already seen video of me with. He's in New Jersey, and then
Okay.
Michael Trapson's in Philly. So like not a lot of Michaels in the like New York City area.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. I mean, you only make $5 in a Chick-fil-A coupon in
Yeah, that
Times
would be
Square.
crazy if like you show up to your post where you're going to be performing, you see another Michael Jackson there already.
Dude, I
Like,
tried
what
to
do you do then?
I tried to find Lebanese Michael Jackson impersonators to bring on stream. I could not find a single one. Like there was a nightclub that would hire this like Venezuelan guy and bring him like from abroad. I was trying to find people here to I've literally been obsessed with this for so long. But do you have?
I appreciate it.
No, like, do you have any idea like around when? Dude, I would love to watch that shit on stream. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's gonna come out in April. Like, I'm trying to have it come out around the time that the Michael Jackson movie comes out in
Sweet.
theaters.
Okay, that's awesome. And just generally,
Yeah, that's awesome.
I don't want to put you in like an awkward position with the people that you're filming with, but like, what do you think? Do you think Michael did it? 'Cause that
did
might have
what?
like you know, children, all that sort of thing. Guilty, innocent, not sure.
No, you're being ignorant.
Ignorant. Okay, being ignorant. All right.
Well, what do you think about the theory
No, that's
that
silly.
he was actually protecting them from Epstein? That's what
Oh
people
my
are
God,
saying.
that's what my
Oh my
sister's
God,
been
dude.
telling me.
That's so
Donald
funny.
Trump, I heard, was also protecting them from
Epstein.
Epstein. R. Kelly, I
Right.
think, was doing some type of protection too. There's some type of protecting going on, actually. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know about all that. I've tried not to ask these guys about that type
Oh
of
no,
shit,
yeah,
but like,
they'll get very sensitive about it. No, they're not gonna.
and
fuck with that.
like, you know, it's got to be hard to like, you got to imagine like the bravery that it takes for these people to put on Michael Jackson face when like Michael Jackson's pictured with Epstein so recent. Like, you don't see anyone dressing up like Prince Andrew and being Prince
Mhm.
Andrew impersonators.
Yeah.
I mean, not that that's a very popular impersonator in the first place.
No, I feel you, dude. But good luck on them, man. That sounds super. That sounds super fun. It sounds super interesting. I honestly, I would have loved to do like this is something that I would have loved to do. So I'm glad there's someone out there making a Michael Jackson impersonator documentary with these three dudes in particular, Michael Trapson and Fabio Jackson. I'm not going to comment. Fabio seems interesting. I've been looking at his TikTok. Very interesting TikTok. Very interesting page. Like, are you going to meet him? You're going to meet Fabio?
I hope so. It's kind of like telephone with these guys. We're like, next weekend I'm supposed to see Michael Trapson. And he was like, oh, I'll talk to Fabio for you. The guy who I met with before got me in touch with Michael Trapson. So it's like, you know, one has to go well
Sweet,
first,
sweet.
and then they put you in touch with the other one. And one more thing about this whole thing is that like it's really important for me to get away from like making videos that talk about other people. And it's not because I got burnt out on it. I could keep making videos on people I don't like forever. But it's because I'm trying to chase something that just like makes me feel a little like happier inside, because it's just so fucking like I don't know, like
It's like
it
draining.
feels like shit. It's draining. It feels like shit to like cover this shit, and like at your core, and I'm sure you guys feel this too, that like you're chipping away at this giant wall that like it'll never come down, you know? It's not like one of us could criticize Ethen and then he's suddenly going to see the error of his ways. Or it's not like you could criticize anyone and they're going to see the error of their ways, no matter how well structured the criticism is. It's really a hard thing to constantly do, and I think it's not up to us, it's more so up to audiences to try to engage with stuff that makes you feel better and makes you feel like happy, because when people do that, then creators are going to take steps to make stuff that make people feel good too. It's just really hard to do that nowadays, especially on the internet, because a lot of these issues feel so like life or death sometimes, or feel so like that nobody is standing up or speaking up, and you have to like say something with the meager platform that you do have, because you feel like if you don't say something that you're being complicit in like the harassment and the bullshit that's going on.
True. No, that's a really beautiful sentiment, dude. And also, I mean, like in a world where negativity pays and clicks, usually it's much easier to get clicks when you make a negative video or something criticizing someone. So
I mean, I had like when I made my Ethen video, like a lot of people were like just giving me so much hate at the time. I was just like, I was pretty fucking you know, I'd experienced that before, but I was like not ready for how many people were gonna like react to my shit, I guess. Like Nick Diorio, Papa Gut, like everyone in the Ethen universe, everybody in the Hassan
whole
universe
ecosystem.
were watching it, and like I got very like all this like negative attention all at once. And like even like I just wanted to like say sorry to Casey that like when all of that was happening, I like directed some negative attention at him because I was just like I was feeling like everybody's fucking me over here. Like I feel like a fucking idiot. And like
I mean, Casey was to blame on that. That was on him.
He did steal your thumbnail. He did steal the thumbnail.
I mean, like it in the end, like none of that shit matters. And like the thing is like their goal is for us to kind of like be turned against each other or be like angry at each other for dumb, petty things. And that's kind of how the internet perpetuates itself and continues running. And I think it's important to like stop yourself sometimes and be like, hey, what's my intention of calling out this person or doing this thing? Is it to actually call out an issue, or is it because I'm feeling some type of way about something? And in that case, I was feeling some type of way. I was just upset. And like, I really like looking back, I'm sorry. And it's a mistake. So yeah, I just think it's really important for like, Ethen, if you're watching this, look at how easy that was.
I know, yeah, dude. He could get so much goodwill by simply just like apologizing to a couple of people or like being like, hey, I said some things that could be interpreted like. And Ela, for example, if she would just apologize for the raid in Ramallah, like, okay, she had to serve in the idea. I get it.
Ela, just apologize for the
like just apologize. Just like I was like, young, I was naive.
Post Instagram stories celebrating the war criminals that like, oh, women Israelis can be war criminals too.
Like it's a little bit more complicated for them to apologize for that kind of stuff versus like make a hard stance to say like we're not going to like get angry and call people fucking bitches anymore. We're not, you know, like I think you're just showing your whole ass when you do stuff like that. And like Ethen showed his whole ass to everyone so many times that there's a bunch of people who love like kissing his ass when he shows it. And then there's a bunch of people who are like, oh, here's this guy showing his fucking ass again. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So Alex, when you're done with your positive story of covering Michael Jackson impersonators, I immediately thought of you when I was seeing ads on Reddit that are saying like to join ICE, join Customs and Border Patrol.
I have some people do.
Yeah, and how some reporters actually like got job offers from ICE. I'm like, wait a second, this is exactly what Alex Novell would do.
I applied to ICE. Yeah, they didn't want nothing to do with me, unfortunately. But I have some other people. I have some other like creators who I'm working with who are a little older. They really want people who are in like the mid 40s range. So like if you're in your 40s and you want to apply to ICE for me, hit my DM.
Dude, that's fucking awesome.
We wait 5 years and
you can't lie on those applications too. If you lie on the application to ICE, they will come to your house and arrest you. I found out. So like, because I would have just lied. I would have just been like, yeah, I'm 40. Just let me like record the interview with you guys. But no,
I went on
you actually cannot lie to the U.S. government on a job application, or they'll fucking round your ass up, Gestapo style.
Yeah, I went onto the page and they were talking about how they like take all of your information, like your IP address and stuff of everyone that visits the page and puts it in a database. I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna like explore this application any further.
It's a crazy app. It's got stuff like. It's kind of similar to the Fox News job application. It's like a civics test. Like,
interesting.
Name 3 Supreme Court justices.
That's so
name your favorite amendment.
That's so funny.
Is there anything? I think we're. Is there anything that you guys wanted to touch on? I have a couple of like random little super light things that I wanted to maybe touch on, but I don't know if we have the time.
Well, I just want to say appreciate the kind words, Alex. I was actually in a similar situation that you were describing. Like a couple years ago, I made like a video about Steve-O from Jackass
I remember
and
that
his
one.
like attempt to like get into stand-up comedy, and I got quite a bit of hate for that. And I was like, yeah, why am I going after this guy for just, trying to change his career, go on a different career path? It was really for no other reason than just kind of to poke fun at him. And you can kind of just get into that spiral as like, okay, what's the next video I'm making? This guy's all over Twitter. People are shitting on him. I guess I'll join in. I guess I'll join in on the pylon. And yeah,
We
it's like,
actually, you and I started up around the same time. I remember when you had like, I don't know, 4K subs.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, I made a video about this is a tangent, but I made a video about Charlie Kirk's assassination. Like right after it happened, and ever since then my videos have been my views, my analytics have been absolutely garbage. And I was
The
wondering,
ghost of Charlie Kirk.
has anyone else experienced like a decline in views, or is that just a me problem?
It's been happening with me too. Once my cat's going crazy.
I
So I
think
feel like I
that,
was put on
like,
some sort of list, maybe. I don't know. Probably just by YouTube.
I do think that like since Charlie Kirk was this like peak moment in terms of like political online discourse, where like right now things are in like a weird lull. Like even Hassan, who I would say gets the most viewers in like the political online sphere, um, is doing really well, but like I just don't think that people are as like politically, with everything going on with ICE and stuff, you'd think that it would be much bigger. Like you remember when it was like during like George Floyd and shit like that, when people were like out in the streets causing a ruckus, and like maybe it's because it's so fucking cold, but like it just doesn't feel like people are as politically activated right now as they could be. And I
Yeah, I
think
feel that
that
way too.
political content in general on YouTube has these weird lulls where like
sure.
sometimes I will make political content, but I try not to have it be the core of what I do because YouTube is so weird about when they want to have it be a thing and when they want to completely suppress those channels.
Yeah. Also, like censorship. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if YouTube is starting to like channels that cover Israel with like you can't say Zionist on Twitch anymore. I'm not shocked that becomes a rule on YouTube at any point. The IDF made a massive like $50 million donation to YouTube like a few months ago to run a lot of pro-Israel and pro-IDF ads on YouTube, denying that there was ever a famine. So like I think that the more you talk about this stuff, you might some people tell me sometimes that I'm like shadow banned. They don't see that I'm going live anymore. I don't know if I believe that, but like
Who knows?
I wouldn't be shocked.
Always stuff
I wouldn't be shocked
that does censor like more
the thing that's crazy about YouTube right now is that YouTube is this battleground state for like ideas, but also YouTube is like the proving ground where like go on Twitter, go to a Republican who has 800,000 followers on Twitter and they have their YouTube channel linked in bio. How many subs does Drew Pavlo have? We all, I'm pretty sure, have more subs than Drew Pavlo here.
Let me go check Drew Pavlo.
But like, I think my point is that like the like ideas and like all of this like stuff that's percolated on Twitter really gets hashed out on YouTube, and like you're seeing all of these film studios and like I work professionally in film and television besides doing the YouTube stuff, and like people who I talk to in the film business, they're all interested in what I do on YouTube and how the ad revenue system works and how they can make money doing it. And you have these companies like Casey, maybe this is a really good video for you because I think it would be a good deep dive for your channel. But the company Morning Brew is like it's like they're commodifying the like YouTuber personality and talking about like finance and like bad business, but then they themselves are a company who is like capitalizing off of those same type of things. So again, I think that like YouTube is this space where all of this really important stuff is happening, and I think it's so like, you know, if you have a lot of subs or you have a lot of views or you're like doing well on YouTube, it's a metric that everybody else is going to look at and say, oh, okay, well, like they have something going for them. Which it wasn't like that years ago. Even when I've been on YouTube since like 2006, but like when I started posting on YouTube like I do now, that was 2021 or something. And it wasn't like that back then even, but now it's like, you know, you look at someone like Drewski who like is producing reality TV on YouTube. And like that's the future of where all of this is going, is people are going to your podcast to get political commentary and like, news discussion type stuff. They are gonna go seek out the personalities they like and something that feels like homemade and tailored to them instead of watching network television.
Yeah, and the costs are way lower. Like it's so expensive to run a network TV show, network news show. You got to pay so much crew. Doing it on YouTube, like so many celebrities are setting up YouTube channels. Celebrities are streaming more and more, like kick streamers. You got boxers, you got people just like regular. Everyone's streaming now. Everyone's making this content themselves. Also, I'm getting people in the chat saying like Harry Beanbag says 100%. I didn't get a notification for this live, and I'm subbed with the bell on. So, like I've been hearing this for a couple of weeks, but like I don't even know what to do about that. Like if someone is subscribed with the bell on, and they don't even get a notification for this.
I'm sure that's happening for me too. I've gotten people letting me know that they're not getting any notifications, but
gotta hit them community posts.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, honestly,
trying to. It's it's pretty exhausting, but like you gotta hustle out there, man. And I wanted to show you guys one thing before, if you guys will allow me. There's another one, but it's super random. Let me just see how different my Twitter algorithm is to you guys. Have you guys seen the guy ordering food in Dubai? The perfect food order that everyone's calling?
No.
Yes.
Alex, all right, let's fucking go.
I'm tapped in, man. I'm tapped in on
let's
Dubai
go.
videos.
I want to talk about this thing too.
Dubai
this
videos,
is so
the
random.
perfect food order.
It's the most random thing I've ever seen, but like for some reason this dude's a fucking national hero now. So
they can't get ice out there. Ice is like a commodity, man. If you are like selling like blocks of ice.
Oh, Dubai? Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Interesting.
They're getting ice delivered to put in their pools and shit. Just it's like a status symbol, putting ice in your pool.
Dang.
And I mean, Alex, the fact that you work in film and TV, I used to work in film and TV I worked at a reality TV production house. I would love to talk to you about like Seed Dance 2.0. What do you think? What's that? What that's going to do to the industry? It's kind of insane. Like I
like AI.
AI, like with Seed Dance in particular, like people are freaking out over that.
Nah, that's all bullshit, man. Like people want human stories, right? Like they want to see like drama between people and like something that feels real. And AI is never going to be able to like duplicate that, because you want to be like in reality TV specifically. Like Vanderpump Rules is one of the greatest reality shows of all time, and it's so good because those people they had all these things that they wanted that they were never accomplishing, and like you just will never be able to relate to that with a computer generated thing.
I know.
I think the real question is like how many AI slop movies are we going to get produced by Hollywood before they realize that no one wants to see it?
Darren Aronofsky is making a fucking AI slop American Revolution.
Looks horrendous. Yeah, it's like a short. It looks so bad. My thing is, I just think if kids are raised, like if kids are raised watching AI stuff, they're not going to care. It's all about the younger generation. Like if young people grow up with AI stuff being the norm, then I don't think they're going to give a shit in 20 years if a human made something. I think it's up to the parents like us, if we have kids, to like make sure not to let them consume AI content. Like I think if people grow up with it, because I have one of my best friends has a kid, they make their kid watch like AI videos, and I was like, what the fuck? I didn't tell him, but I was like, holy shit, like that kid's gonna grow up not minding, I think, AI stuff. You know what I mean? If they're used to it.
Maybe not, but like I think that like similar to how the United States won't let the insurance business die, the United States will not let the film industry die because it's
Right.
the one thing that's truly like an American, like the American film business is so important to the US economy in a way. In a weird
And
way.
U.S. imperialism too, with a
Yeah, so like
spread
I
of,
just
like,
don't think
American
it'll
culture.
ever be something that will go away, but I do think that like films that get made are going to like what I was saying making this whole point is that like I'm out here just making a film. I was working with a production company that was going to put up $100,000 for the whole project to happen,
Oh
and
shit.
they wanted to change all these things about it. They wanted me to like go to Vegas with the Michaels, and then they had all these crazy stipulations, and it was like it got to a point where I was like, well, at a certain point, it's the thing that people want to watch about it is that like I'm going through this thing. And like if I'm not really going through it, if we're just faking all of that with movie magic to like save money or save time or whatever, then it's not real. And I think the important thing is not that it's like on Netflix or Hulu or HBO. Or, like I think a lot of the time these when people put up money for stuff, it gets like the thought is that it'll be produced for streaming or something. I love the idea of putting all this time and effort, and Casey gets it because his stuff is so well edited that you put all this time into making something and then you release it and it's not yours anymore, and you get to just like drop this thing that feels like a feature-length film or feels like this long form project, and you put it out there and you make some money on it and then you move on to the next thing and you pick your head up instead of like when a feature length film gets made in reality, it is made and then 2 years later it hits theaters, and over that 2 years the filmmakers will spend working with a PR firm and developing the perfect strategy, yada yada. I want to make a trailer and then post my thing. And I think a lot of people
Yeah.
feel that way. And a lot of audiences don't want to wait around for someone to
Tell them-
finally release something, especially if it's about a topic that they're passionate about.
Yeah. I mean, look, Chris Stuckman just did it with. I didn't get to see Shelby Oaks. It never came out here, but like I was one of his. I donated to help him try to get that made. A Markiplier with Iron Lung. So and this like it's all independently released. I mean, I know that Neon eventually. I think who picked up Chris Stuckman's movie? Was it Neon? I think
it was Neon.
Neon ended up picking that up. But yeah, just go to your audience and like. And I worked in TV at a TV production house for 7 years. You hear a lot of no's, like no. I'm like, I never want to take no for an answer again. Like if there's something I want to make, and I made a couple of YouTube documentaries, and I'm very interested. And one of the reasons I'm very excited for your documentary is because it could very easily be seen as something that is making fun of these impersonators. So I want to see how you handle the subject with where you're not making fun of them, because I've made a couple of movies on like very interesting obscure TikTok characters, and I tried not to make it like. It had to be sort of balanced, so I'm very excited to see how you kind of handle that.
I handle it by making fun of myself. I think that's the way to do it, is by just making fun of myself and how bad I am at impersonating Michael Jackson versus how good they are at doing it.
Yeah, it's like the
here
Conan O'Brien method. I don't know if you saw like his remotes back in the day.
Oh,
he was
yeah.
always like the punchline,
So
Definitely.
I wanted to show you guys this super random thing. We often talk about like concussions and like just different ways that people get concussions in sports. This is like a new sport that just launched. I don't know if you've seen this, James. New Combat Sports League.
This is like football, but it's just
jousting.
tackling.
It's jousting.
It's the brain damage sport.
It's jousting with your heads.
It's just it's football jousting. This is new concussion. New ways to get concussions just dropped.
Oh my god!
Is Dana White funding this?
I would not
This
be
is
shocked.
It's unironically better than slap fighting.
Well, so when I was at I used to work for this company, Media Matters, doing like journalism type stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I produced this whole thing with them about power slap.
Oh my god.
And like this is just like power slap, man.
Yeah, just they're running. Yeah, they're running into each other. Heavyweight sprint full speed into each other, and like try to knock each other out. That's insane, man.
Wait, can you click on the account Happy Punch? Is that Keemstar's company?
That's Keemstar's company, yeah.
A new generation of combat sports. Okay, he's not producing the concussion fights though.
No,
He's
no,
just,
I don't think so.
every Keemstar account acts like it's a real thing, but then just turns into a clip aggregation account.
Oh
This,
yeah.
this is just insane to me, man. Okay, and then, one more thing. Yes, so Drew Pavlou has 11K subs. 11K subs.
11K.
11K.
Guys, sub to Drew Pavlo now. He needs you now more than ever.
I cannot recommend that. But he had like
He had a great discussion with Destiny's Nazi son when nobody wanted to sit down and talk to a 16-year-old Nazi. Brave Drew Pavlo. And like he's getting roasted by his own viewers, and the comments on that video are fucking amazing.
Dude, the video of his
No,
dad.
I might have to go watch it.
The video of his dad like just yelling at him, be like, "What the fuck are you doing? You fucking idiot! Like you're a waste of space." Like live
Well,
on
he's
stream.
Australian. Like, imagine being Australian and just like simping that hard for American politics. Like, it's just like you actually don't have to do that in Australia. You've got like terrible politicians there that you can simp for, like John Berlaro.
It's so funny. They have a Lebanese guy too, who when asked if isn't he Lebanese, like he almost killed the reporter who asked him. He was so offended and disgusted.
Oh my god!
So this is going viral for all. I've never heard of this man, Big John the
I saw
Bosch
this.
father. So everyone is complimenting him for his perfectly executed food order at a Dubai restaurant and for the respect he showed the waiter. So I have never seen a better executed order for the table in my life. Down to the details: napkin tucked for order, upping the portion size in a blink, the bao bun execution, asking for the server for recommendations and politeness, and complete control of the room. Let us watch and learn from this man. And
He's order mogging.
He's order
I know.
mogging.
Order
This is what I was thinking.
Order maxing and order mogging.
Clavicular needs to take notes.
And these are all
frame logging.
these are all just tweets praising the man. So let's just watch. Let's see what they're praising.
Because you like chicken dumplings, Charlotte. Right, we've got the wontons, the chicken dumplings, and the shrimp sume to start. And then for the mains, please, can we have Chinese wok noodles?
Chinese wok noodles.
Is that big enough for 4 people?
Which one? The one noodle?
Yeah, the Chinese wok noodles.
Is this for 1 person or 2 person?
So, right, we'll have 2 of them, please.
Yes.
Can we have 2 of the hoisin honey glazed duck?
Yes.
I don't know if any of you guys have ever been to Dubai, by the way. I've been there a couple times for work. The music there just scream. I feel like I'm there now. I fucking hate it. I can't stand being there. And the music is one of the reasons.
Can we have 2 of the wok fried crispy beef?
Which one?
Wok fried crispy beef. Can we have, please, 2 special fried rice?
So by the way, the duck, the honey glazed duck, it's come with the steamed rice already. This one.
Right, comes with yeah, but we'll have 1 special fried
One
rice
special
as well,
fried
please.
So he adapted. He was told about the rice. He changed the order because it comes with steamed rice on the fly. Okay, you know what? We'll take 1 fried rice.
Thank you for telling us that.
Oh, and he thanked the waiter. He thanked the waiter.
Right, we'll have 1 special fried rice as well, please. Thank you for telling us that. Can we have sweet and sour chicken?
Sweet and sour chicken, yes. Please.
Is that big for 2 people?
I think it's enough already, this one, and you can order more if not.
Right, so we'll have 1 sweet and sour chicken, thank you. Anything else you want?
Would you like to try the bao bun? We have some duck and beef.
No, I'm alright on the bao bun.
Yeah.
We've got the beef. Do you want bao buns? Right, we'll try.
Yeah, we have duck bao bun.
We'll have duck bao buns.
So you see, he's not stubborn. He initially said no for the bao buns, but then someone at the table's like, you know what? Why don't we get some bao buns? You know what? We'll get the bao buns.
Duck bao bun in 1 order is 2 pieces. 2 bao.
We'll have 2 lots then, so we've got 4.
4, yeah.
Yeah, please, thank you.
I'll make it a starter this one.
Yeah, thank you. He's going to make that as a starter,
Duck,
Hetty.
yeah.
And let's have a look, signature dishes.
Did you want the sweet and sour?
We've ordered sweet and sour chicken.
This might be one of the dumbest things I've ever showed you guys. I apologize. But just,
I
Okay,
mean,
I'll be honest. Not that good.
not that
for
good.
me, like that's the order. Like he ordered a lot of stuff, but also like I think the flex, like clearly his wife's or whatever is taking the video. They're sitting at a 2-person table, by the way, so all that food's for 2 people.
Yeah, that's a lot of food. That's what I was thinking. Like that's an expensive bill. I think
He
there's
had like
4
5
people.
kids
though.
with him.
He said we're 4 people at one point. So I
Oh,
do think
he
there are
did say 4 people.
But that's a lot of food, man. He's in a Dubai
still a
restaurant.
lot.
Look at that view. This is not a cheap meal. So people are saying you can tell a lot about someone by the way they speak to staff serving them. I was just finding like because this is the tweet that got me. So, okay, this said the king napkin on while ordering, in the zone, ready, a lot of glazing. This is like watching Messi play football, pure master at work. But this is the tweet that got me. I find it interesting that Yanks are calling him an absolute master of his craft. Sure, he's very polite, but you all just treat waiters like pieces of shit in your shoes. So yeah, like, why are Americans this enamored with this? Like, Americans have a great relationship with
Is
their
it
waiters.
Americans that are enamored with this? It's because Americans have nothing in their life. Like, it's just brain rot. Like, it's a slice of life anime, except it's taking like 2 seconds for someone to just pull out their phone and record this. I swear this is what entertainment is these days.
Did you want brain
Like,
rot? Here, have you seen
I
this?
love this.
Yeah.
I love this video.
Have you seen second rank androgenic suffered a massive cortisol spike after a fan snatched his wig? Have you seen this, James?
I need to go on a tangent about this real quick.
Let's go.
I have something to say.
Dude, you should make a I would love for you to make a documentary about these fucking guys.
I'm working on something. It's not about these guys in general. It's kind of, so I'm not gonna say who it is, but there's someone out there I'm working with who's a top botter in the kick scene, and we're taking a couple of different kick streamers and using clip channels to bot them and like promote them into being famous. And then eventually I'm gonna sit down with these guys and tell them that it was all fake.
Shit,
Oh, that's
dude.
so cruel.
But like the idea is to document how it affects their personality and to show also how these guys end up scamming Kick. Because what happens is Kick pays them, it used to be called KCIP, now it's called the Kick Partner Program. But they'll pay them, I mean, I know a guy named Mondo who makes like $20 an hour streaming on Kick. And he's just like an Ice Poseidon, like stringer honor, leech type person. And he famously took a shit on Nancy Pelosi's driveway. And that's his claim to fame. And he is partnered on Kick, and he is like, makes a full-time salary, can pretty much buy whatever he wants, go wherever he wants, works from home. Technically, he just turns on his phone. He doesn't even do anything. He sits there and he points his phone at the screen sometimes and just plays NBA 2K and just keeps his stream on. And he'll have like a mirror on the floor, and like instead of having like a face cam, he'll have a mirror on the floor and the camera's pointed at the TV. You know what I mean?
Oh my god, holy shit.
Like it's just like the lowest tier of content, but all you got to do is stay live and not be sleeping on stream, and you're getting that minimum wage KCIP money. It's worth it. So that's kind of what the goal is for these guys, is to get on the like, and then get eventually like a stake partnership or something like that. Get all of the gambling companies to sponsor you. But Kick is just a funnel to stake.com. Like the owner of Kick, Eddie, Kick is not a profitable venture. It's a arm of stake, basically.
Yeah, the top streamers on Kick are literally like gambling all fucking day.
Just look at Ice Poseidon. I mean, Ice Poseidon is the biggest perpetrator of this.
But that's super interesting, dude. You got a couple of interesting projects that you're working on. That's fucking sweet.
Yeah, I just got like, I've been covering kick streamers for a really long time, and every time I go, I'm not gonna make more stuff about kick streamers, but then like something else happens with kick streamers. You ever feel like you're so ahead on this trend that like nobody, like I was calling Alan Dershowitz a pedophile when nobody even knew anything about him with Epstein, and now everyone's talking about it, and I'm like, yeah, I know, that's just the thing I was saying.
Dude,
and that's how it is on the internet all the time.
I live for Alan Dershowitz interviews on Piers Morgan. I love it. Anytime he shows up on Piers Morgan, I'm there with a bucket of popcorn. It's fucking awesome. I fucking hate that guy. But yeah, he's a great entertainment, especially when he's flailing around and threatening to sue people. Every time he threatens to sue someone on Piers Morgan, I'm like, that's fucking just classic, dude.
He tried to sue me, but it didn't work.
Oh my god, dude.
He tried to sue me for fraudulent inducement theory. Because I told him I was making a documentary about birthright. Because like, if you want like Alan Dershowitz to talk to you, just say you want to talk about Israel. And he got on a call with me, and then I was like, so how much money did you pay Virginia Giuffre to recant her allegations against you?
Oh my god, dude.
And this was like when nobody really knew anything about that, and he was like, I didn't pay her a cent! And then he came in my email, and it was like a whole thing. And the guy from the trial of the Chicago 7 defended me in the emails with him.
Holy shit.
Got him to back off. Like, it was this whole... I have, like, crazy... I've been doing this for so long now that, like, it's like sometimes you forget all the crazy bullshit. I'm sure you guys feel it, too, that, like, it's like these... When you're in, like, a drama or whatever, it's like... It happens, and you mark different eras of your life by the different, crazy bullshit you've been into.
Yeah.
Basically, that's how I tracked the last 5 years of the podcast. But does anyone have anything else to ask Alex before we let you guys go? It's 1 a.m. here in Lebanon.
Oh yeah, we got to let Anthony get some
nice
sleep.
time.
Shout out to Twisted Rage in chat also. Twisted Rage does all my music.
Oh, sweet.
In my that there's that like there's that chant song at the end, the like dubstep chant song. Twisted Rage made that.
What up, Twisted Rage?
That's great.
Nice to have you in the chat.
Alex, how good is your beard when it grows in? I'm thinking of I think we need to do like a leftist beard tier list, like maybe next November or something. And I'm wondering if you want to throw your hat in the ring or your beard in the ring, so to speak.
So I can't grow like a mustache fully, I don't think. But I have to, like, I've been keeping myself clean shaven because I got to do Michael Jackson right now.
Oh yeah.
I'm like the closest shave I've ever had. Usually I'm like all scruffy. But yeah, after Michael Jackson, I'll try to grow a measly beard to compete.
I think that'd be so fun, so stupid but fun.
That would be a fun tier list, actually. I think I could do well. That is one tier list I think I could do pretty well.
I think you would be at the top. You and Comrade Casey. We might have to have different categories: mustache, beard, and then like an all category.
I tried a beard like a couple months ago. God, it's like hell when you have like a slightly curly beard. I don't know how you do it, Anthony. It just curls back in your face.
Mine doesn't curl. Mine doesn't curl, so I guess but mine's thick. So there's kind of like a shitty phase, but once it crosses, it's like hair. It's in the middle phase between being long and short. It looks kind of stupid. It's kind of annoying when you have that with a beard. Alex, it was super awesome having you here, man. Very nice conversation. Very glad we got to talk. We'd love to have you back sometime. I cannot tell you how excited I am about that Michael Jackson documentary. I think you can tell. So
I appreciate it. Seriously, like I was gonna have to if you didn't bring it up, I was gonna shoehorn it in at the end. So
no.
Appreciate it.
I'm literally I spent like 2 live streams talking about it, and I'm very excited to see it. I'm actually kind of excited to see the movie. Like, look, Michael Jackson, if he did it or didn't do it, one of a kind entertainer. Music is unforgettable. Like you can't compare to that music. It's fucking incredible. I grew up like listening to that shit, so I was very sad by all the stuff that he was accused of doing, obviously, but very excited to see. And I want to tell you, I had an idea for a show that I wanted to make. I kind of want to send you the idea on Twitter, just to get your thoughts on it, because you're a film and TV guy.
I would love it. That goes for anyone. I love when people send me their idea. I think that's the fucking most awesome thing. I get DMs like more often than you'd think of people who just want to like talk to me about what their idea for a movie is. And I'm like, that's so cool that you'd want to tell me your idea. Thank you.
Dude, no, that's dope, because I had a thing that I wanted to do about an Elvis Presley impersonator. And now all the Michael Traps and stuff, the Fabio Jackson, I kind of wanted to like to switch the idea to like Michael Jackson stuff, but I just wanted to get your thoughts on it. So I'm gonna reach out to you. I'm gonna send you a DM about that. And everyone who's watching live was in the chat. I pinned the link to Alex's channel up top. So give him a follow, subscribe, support him on YouTube. You can keep up with all of his projects over there. Also, same goes for Comrade Casey and James. Their links are in the description of this video. Alex, once again, we appreciate you so much, man. Thank you for coming here.
I think you're our first official guest.
First official guest, yeah.
Appreciate that.
Thank you, guys. Long time watcher. Glad to be here.
Same.
Yeah, same.
Super great to have you here. Have a good night, dude. Where do you live, by the way? Like, what time is it where you're at?
I'm in Brooklyn, so it's 6 p.m. I'm about to venture out into the snowstorm to walk my dog here.
Oh,
sweet. Come say goodbye to you guys.
Do it.
Georgie, come here. Come here, Georgie.
Oh.
Come here, miss. Yeah, chop up.
Oh,
what a
What up, Georgie? She's so pretty.
The bling on the collar.
Cute.
Oh, it's actually, I don't know if you guys would like it. It's actually a prong collar. So I might get canceled for that.
Are you? Oh, really?
Oh,
Listen, I don't know.
For real though, no, it is a prong collar. She's like a trained service dog, so I do all that type of shit.
for sure.
I can't believe the abuse that you're putting your dog through.
All right, guys, thank you so much.
All right,
Thank
yeah,
you.
nice
Have a good
having you,
evening.
man.
Have a good night, guys. Everybody in the chat, thank you for being here. We will see you very soon.
Later.
Yep. Oh. All right. See you, Anthony.
Stream is. I've stopped the stream. All right, James.
Oh, you stopped the stream.
I stopped the stream. You still live? Am I still live on your channel?